Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again. It's your straight ripping pro scrim night, and I'm Why Not Be Reckless, aka Why Not Be Cast. Next to me is straight ripping legend himself, Elamite. How you feeling today, baby?
Most excellent, Tony. Always a pleasure to be here with you.
Always a pleasure to be here with you as well, and also to be here with the straight ripping family and you guys in the chat. You guys, you're darn all right. I think you're all right with me. I don't care what Kyle says about you. I think you're all right. But ladies and gentlemen, we have two amazing teams going at each other again. As always, in case you don't know what's going down, these teams are already planning on scrimming. We just put them together, put a little bit of money on the line, and put a spotlight on them. We get to watch a little bit, put a little bit of casting, put on a show for you guys, and we have some fun. But we have Legion Gaming going up against Ascending Baseline in another little money script provided by Straight Rippin', you already know. And speaking of already know, I feel like we know these teams pretty well. We've seen them a few times here.
Oh yeah, Ascending Baseline and Legion Gaming. I mean, these are the two teams that have wanted it very badly since we've seen in 2026. Little hiatus here, I think, on some of the scrims. Waiting to see, a little information on things coming down the road and what different timelines are looking like. But these two teams have been on the grind. They not letting any time go to waste, and always a pleasure to jump in and see how they are progressing here and there along their way.
Yeah, with certain players, taking a little bit of breaks and whatnot. We've seen that for a lot of the teams going into this year. We're hearing even more news coming up. It's exciting to know that there's still, teams that are out there grinding, putting in the work and getting ready for whatever is next. Obviously, we still have Halo Fest, which is coming up fairly soon. Actually, we're already in July, believe it or not. It's actually crazy. It feels like right around the corner. Whatever the Pro League's gonna look like, there's rumors of that starting up in August here. Now that was on a little bit of a delay, but supposed to be coming in, and so there's stuff still coming here for Halo, and whatever is next, I know it's gonna be exciting. Halo Infinite really is a beautiful game, and to be honest with you guys, I feel like if the Halo Infinite that we had today was like at launch, dude, who knows where we would be? Because I really do enjoy this game, and I think it's in a good spot right now. Maybe had a bit of a rockier start, but I think it's in a good place right now, and it's a fun game.
I mean, I still really enjoy playing it too. I was playing the other day. It's been, busy times, I think, for everybody. I think it's, both busy plus a good break for a lot of the players who've been on the grind for so many years. So, there's a lot of ways to look at the positive of what we had. But like you said, the game is fun to play right now. I've never been one to have to do what everyone's doing. So it's a community smaller, but it goes grassroots at that point. There's a lot of great games that kind of go on that way, and there's no reason why we can't see growth again, as things happen, as it is still, like we said, fun to play, and we're about to have a lot of cool things coming down the road, and who knows what'll happen with Halo Fest.
And speaking of grassroots, I feel like that's when again teams like Legion Game and Ascending Baseline are going to put in the work, and it's going to pay dividends. But also, I feel like it's up to organizations like Straight Rip and even people like us to support Halo wherever we can and whatnot. Like, I have a game circuit controller that I've been using recently and whatnot. They've been supporting Halo a ton. I'm like, hey, look, if you support Halo, I'm going to support you, baby. I've been talking about throwing a little tournament and whatnot, and seeing what it's like to get some of the casters, some of the pros maybe mixed in and whatnot. I want to see which caster is the best player and whatnot, and show us some love. So maybe it's up to us, and even you guys at home, if you guys want to be involved, don't be afraid to drop a sub, drop a gifted, or even outside of the monetary, drop a follow, engage with some of the socials and whatnot. Stranger is doing a fantastic job with the social media, bringing us back and bringing us some of these really fun memes. If you haven't already, go to their Twitter. Their their X account, and turn that notification bell on, because whenever they tweet, it's usually either something super nostalgic or it's something like really silly, really funny that you're gonna want to see anyways. Actually, whoever's doing the socials is doing a pretty damn good job, and to kind of hyper focusing on today's matchup, again, Legion Gaming going against Ascending Baseline, starting off in the 2v2s actually. So before we actually get into the 4v4s, we're going to warm up with a little bit of 2v2 action, which is always fun to watch. 2v2s in this game is fantastic. Honestly, 2v2 in Halo has always been really fun. I really got into it in Halo 5, where things were so crazy with thrust sliding and whatnot, and you were able to cover so much ground. Well, it's kind of similar in Halo Infinite. You see a lot of action, a lot of ground to be covered, and I feel like a lot of the faster players really love that. 2v2 really feels like Halo at kind of its purest form. You have the whole map to work with, so you get to really dig into your bags of tricks.
Yeah, I mean, the 2v2 phase tournament with all the qualifiers as well. I mean, how fun was that to watch? I almost want to see it happen again, to be honest. As we take a look at this game, like we said, jumping into the 2v2s, and right off the rip, Zuzi flying all the way over to get that sniper rifle, and escapes with it. He's going to have both players right in front of him. Connects on the first and second shot with a cleanup from his brother, though. They take an early 2-0 lead.
Good start here by Legion Gaming. He actually brought me back to, I was actually at that LAN in Dallas, a big two-piece come out of Zuzi. Love that. That's gonna get him a camouflage almost immediately. But it was one thing I learned about that event, is that not only is 2v2 really fun, but we need more 2v2 lands. Like I think we had one Red Bull one a while ago, and then hadn't had one since. 2v2 land is actually so crazy. I remember Ryan was Spectre War squad at that event, and I was chilling in the back. Ryan, who just finished his match, he comes in with a big smile on his face, looks me dead in the eye, and says, "They just keep letting me win. I'm 33, and they just keep letting me win." He was so hyped, bro.
Yeah, I remember that LAN. I was casting that one, and that was a crazy fun one to be a part of as well, like you said. Yeah, 2v2s. Yeah, I mean, we've got 2v2s that happen at the events, but just with the timing of everything, it's always been so difficult to get a good mix of players and people that are there for the main event, into any of the other free for alls, 2v2, side events, side games. I mean, I always wish, and hopefully maybe it's something we can see develop with Halo Fest more too, a longer event where you can have people play in multiple games and multiple side events as well.
Mm. Yeah, why not? Maybe starting on like a third. Like, and there's a lot of events. Like I think Apex and what else? Maybe Call of Duties. I think they start on Thursdays, and Thursday could be like a little bit of a warm up, like maybe like a celebration of competitive Halo. Like you have maybe that's when you have the award ceremonies. That's always really cool to watch and whatnot. Maybe that's when you have some really other fun events where if the pro players who maybe don't want to do so much, then they're not obligated to. But if you want to do some of this side events, you're able to do so on Thursday. I don't know why I never thought about that before, but yeah, maybe whatever's coming up next for Halo's multiplayer, maybe we consider a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm down. What, more Halo, more LAN? Why not?
Why not? That's what I'm saying, Tony. But you're talking Thursday, bro. I'm talking like Monday to Monday. You're thinking, we're not even on the same page here yet. Or I'm talking like the first to the 17th. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine you're like working full time. You gotta put in your PTO, and you're like, "Hey boss, I need for the 1st to the 17th. I got a Halo event to go to."
Why not?
Hey, you know what? If it's a cool boss, he'll know. He'll understand. He might say, "You know what?
He might even get it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what? Let's drive up together. I want to go watch." Oh,
and you saw what I did there with the numbers, right?
Of course, 117's all around us.
Just make
a wish.
This game's the Spectre 8. Ooh, tough engagement with the snipe here. Looks like it will reset. You might have seen him if he kept looking there another second.
11-9 lead. Right now, Legion Gaming looking very comfortable right now. Big no-scope going toward the body of Suspector, but he's like, wait a minute, where did Super CC go? Super CC took height, but looks like they were rubbing backs for a second here. Eventually decide to fight, and sadly not able to get the trade-off there, at least the way he wanted to. Zuzi stays alive. He gets himself a sniper, and now 3 bullets to work with already with a 3-kill advantage.
13-11, taking another route with the snipe, seeing what he can find. Does get taken out. Nice shots by Suspector, putting the carbine to use. Liking what we're seeing here so far. Making that comeback, bringing it down, or coming in within 1 now.
Some of the people in the chat are liking your idea for the longer event, the much longer events here. Carbine hands a Suspector, and I will say the Carbine has been a great iteration here in Halo Infinite. You'll see it put into some interesting spots, like especially on I can't think of the name of the map, the Coliseum remake. I don't know why I can't think of the name of Origin, excuse me. On Origin, it's placed on the elbow side. And elbow's already like an interesting spot to hold, but if you have the carbine from long range, it's even better. Well, the carbine, not enough to stop Uzi and Zuzi from snatching up that camouflage. And this is where bad might just turn to worse, because although you take down 1, can you get Zuzi? It's a 1-shot Suspector that might actually just stay alive. Super CC watching his teammates back, but it looks like just barely taking him down. And of course, you already know Zuzi turns that into 2. I mean, that's just turning lemons and lemonade. That's beautiful.
Let's get cleaned up though. Insta peek from Suspector coming off spawn. Nice teamwork by them as well. The trades come in. Down 2. Snipes coming up in 10. See Repulsors down here, top middle. Super CC will play for that, or try to at least. Quantum's coming off respawn here as well. Like they elect to not play for it, try to contest Sniper. It's been grabbed already here by Legion Gaming. As they rotate towards Nest, they've got eyes on Q2. They probably thought ascending baseline was back here, and sure enough they were, but the full rotation for both teams comes in.
out rotating the enemy squad, but when you hit no scopes like that, that'll slow down the opposition no matter what. Looks like both players getting tagged up by the sniper. Looks like Uzi though going for a very long flank there, and eventually maybe just too little, too late to get into the action. They already took down Zuzi, and now get to work a little bit of a 2v1 versus his twin brother, and Uzi goes down, sending baseline tie things up.
Super CC has that snipe moving around very quickly. Almost connects onto the shot onto Uzi. Also recognizes now that his brother's going to have that quantum and is using it towards top center here. A couple of trades come in. Uzi plays for the insta-explode, can't find it, goes for the sniper no scope, but it is not reloaded. Won't be able to find that one. And right towards the end of the game here, now we're seeing Ascending Baseline take the lead.
Uzi looking like he G-dated his bandit for a second, using everything but that bandit in order to try to get the kill. Eventually not able to do so. Now Suspector, 11 kills and 7 assists to his name. Really has been having a highlight game here. Trying to find out exactly what Uzi and Zuzi win right now. Knowledge really is power. And as they get that information, they activate on it immediately. Super CC goes right after Zuzi. Uzi keeping that height, which ultimately keeps them at bay, turns it into Super CC, and Suspector with the skill jump, able to get the kill with the jump. Now Uzi down, Zuzi next, but Zuzi putting a lot of pressure. He wants that camouflage.
That was a nice jump up there towards Kedor to actually get that kill. Definitely some great map movement being put on display, but not able to find that kill, and it allows Zuzi to get away with the camo here. Super CC wasn't able to find the cleanup coming off spawn in towards A. The game within 1. There's a lot of time left on the clock here to play. Quantum is up, and Legion is going to play for that. That's going to give them 2 equipments here to use momentarily, as camo has a little bit left to work with, but not all that much. Descending baseline rotating all the way towards C. They've completely flipped the map again. They also find some nade damage onto the camo player. Not sure if they were aware of that, but that's going to buy them some more time here.
Oh, but they immediately rip Zuzi here. A little 3-2-1 action as Suspector and Super CC's bandits were aligned. And Uzi, did he just spawn there? Oh my gosh. He immediately gets taken down. Somehow gets the stick, though, to trade out his life. But mind you, Ascending Baseline now just looking for the final kill in order to take game number 1. It's a double push, but still some way, somehow, Uzi gets shredded. Zuzi's next. That's the 26-22 as the game didn't get ended in time.
I was wondering what was going on there at first after he's throwing the nade. But yeah, sure enough, like we said, just wasn't set to 25, although that is what we were playing too. So that gives Suspector and Super CC game 1 here over the Twins. And that is a nice opening game.
That it was. Yeah, Super CC, although maybe a little bit of a slower start to that game number 1, ultimately ends up with 14 kills. I will say, having 12 kills and 11 assists in a game to 25, like, I mean, you participated in 23 of the team's 25 kills. Like, I think that's, well, 26, I guess. I think it's actually really, really impressive to say, like, almost every kill in some way, shape, or form goes through you. It almost reminds you like kind of like a point guard in basketball. You know, like even if you're not scoring yourself, you're the facilitator. Like it's such an important position. It feels like Suspector was almost the point guard of that game.
Oh yeah, I mean I'd always kind of look at it as 50% in 4v4s in a Slayer. So if you're getting like, you know, over 25 in participation, you know, 12 kills, 13 assists or something like that, then you're definitely just being hugely impactful. As Zuzi's going to get an assist for shooting his teammate in the back there a few times here, which definitely allows the setting baseline to get camo and the double kill off the start here. So you definitely hate to see that. Not the best opening start we've seen from Legion, as now they find themselves in a rough spot.
If you put shots into your teammate and the enemy gets a kill, like that's can we count that as like a gentleman's assist? Like what? Like,
oh my.
That was a nasty 5.
That was insane that he just came away, or that they came away with the win there. 2-3 now. Somehow being able to trade out against Camo, Grapple, Shock, And the disadvantage off spawns here. Another kill comes in, and that's going to tie this one back up. Legion, after having a horrible start, answers right back.
And with that, they now have taken the lead here, trying to find out where the second player's gone. And now you know he's stuck in the Whirlpool side. And if you don't be careful, his teammate can spawn right behind him, which it looks like they do. The squad spawns are real here in Halo Infinite, especially in 2v2 action. So Zuzi, in a world of hurt, he goes down, and Zuzi's going to play his life for now.
4-4, still early in the game here. Camo is really the only thing we're going to have to worry about. Not for another minute as well. The push starts coming in. Nice shots from Zuzi. Gets some damage onto both players. Cleans up the kill onto Suspector. Does get a little bit maybe over anxious here in that push with the grapple. Gets cleaned up by Super CC and doesn't get any damage onto him. Allows Super CC to clean that one up and follow it into 2 kills. Give them the lead. Finds the third as well. And you need Legion Gaming. They're going to have to try to slow this one down here if they get back into this. But nice challenge from Zuzi. Actually just shuts that down immediately and allows Legion Gaming to move from C, try to break out on the map. Actually force these players back and almost trap them in A with this new camo now getting ready to come up.
And as Uzi chases down the new spawning players, Uzi looks to move in position, trade out in lives there, and Uzi not trading out whatsoever, putting the BR to work. What season are we in?
They know they're going to spawn C or long haul here, as well as the push is immediately coming in, trying to play aggressive. He might have had damage onto this player towards glass. Zuzi gets that camo. Elects to play aggressive here. Uzi does get double teamed, and ascending baseline, they've had just great ability or situational awareness on where to play, kind of get these advantages. Almost clean up Zuzi, but a nice shroud screen will come in and completely reset the map here. Luckily, with the extended camo, it will give Zuzi enough time to play for shock rifle, and they get another reset. I don't think they know where both players are. Sure enough, now as I say that, nice no scope on one and make that a double kill. Catches him through the doorway. Nice plays here from Zuzi.
Super CC at one point in time showing off the camo eyes, and Zuzi showing off what he can do with the camo and shock combination. But with camo expiring now, only having the shocks work with, it's tied up right now at 10 apiece. Tries to line up Super CC, ends up getting the kill, takes a whole lot of damage in return, and the nade almost takes him down, but it keeps him at 1 shot, and now just trying to hold Suspector back. A beautiful grenade, and as Zuzi goes down, Uzi is there for the cleanup.
Let's find the cleanup there. As Shock tries to find one. 1 shot left now in the chamber. We'll see if he can put this one to use. Hunting around, playing really defensively and far back here. They know exactly how Ascending Baseline's been playing this game and how they like to double hit some of these angles. They did spot him out though. Gives them an opportunity to try to recollapse. Taking their time, though, with the lead. They don't have to be the ones to make any play, and I think they recognize that here now.
12-11 advantage. Wow. What a pick from across the map, and you know Zuzi wants to take that back as that ties things up and also leaves Uzi by himself. Uzi has to take the 1v1 and at least is able to get a trade out, so not bad life there. Meanwhile, Suspector maybe biting off a bit more than he can chew because he's down to 1 shot, and Zuzi comes in like a wrecking ball, Miley Cyrus style, as he finds Suspector, leaving Super CC by himself, tries to make yet another grapple play, but Super CC seemingly ready for that one, and then he evades death by grappling back towards his teammate.
Yeah, but Camo spawning right now, and you've got Ascending Baseline that we're trapped over here towards A. Super CC makes a break and finds the kill. Wisely backs down, no health here, trying to decide where this push is going to come from. Somehow Zuzi, though, plays front and finds a kill. Camo's still up, though, and Suspector, being half health, is not going to be able to contest this. And that is a lot of camos going in favor of Legion Gaming this game, but the game itself still tied up now, 15-all.
On board now with Uzi. It's an interesting angle. Is he actually getting damaged? I couldn't even tell if like the bullets are actually going towards the C plat side, but I love that angle that he created now. wants to maybe double push with Zuzi here. And when they do this, they really are at their best. They like to play isolated at times, but when they're pushing together and really melting anybody they can see, things can get really dangerous. That nade almost finds home, but looks like both Suspector and Super CC waiting, baiting, and really daring Uzi and Zuzi to make a play towards them.
Oh my. Wow. With camo, Tony. With camo on that push. Sending baseline plays it so perfectly with just the use of a plasma. Actually take out camo player and actually get both kills to win that engagement. Take a lead here by 3 as Super CC gets the new shock rifle, puts it to use with a nice no scope to start. And they are just playing so much faster than Legion. And I think Legion kind of keeps thinking they're going to be hiding somewhere, but the exception of them in A being trapped here a couple times, they're just moving around so fast that they're kind of outpacing Legion.
20 kills so far here for ascending baseline and still having that shock in the hands of Super CC. Player not going to peek around that window side, knows what could happen as they try to maybe rotate towards the long haul, collect a bit of a new angle. Super CC still expecting a push that could happen from anywhere. Uzi, meanwhile, for screen, gets a 5-shot on Suspector. So now with Super CC by himself, knows that they're actually pushing through A, ends up grappling under them. And this is a huge, big brain play. Grapples under them towards his spawning teammate. Suspector ends up getting the kill, but somehow Zuzi comes in out of nowhere, and it is action-packed back and forward. Legion Gaming not letting go, at least not easily, but now they're ascending baseline.
Yeah, that's about as mixy as it gets, Tony, but at the end of it all, it is Uzi who's going to get that camo and get out. And ascending baseline, who's still going to have control of shock rifle, trying to find some more kills here. There's a great heads-up grapple play to, like you said, rotate underneath and find his teammate who spawned C-Plat right next to him. And is able to battle that out and find that kill to give them a lead by 4.
These nades have been crazy. Are they just guessing at this point? How do they getting so close to these crazy sticks? Another nade absolutely obliterates the shields of Super CC. Now a momentary 1v1 here as Zuzi wants to take the challenge over towards tower side. Meanwhile, Uzi, I think he actually just might have ran out of camouflage, it looks like. Only down by 3 kills. Meanwhile, ascending baseline just need 3 more to take a 2-0 lead.
Things are slowing down a lot now. Suspector and Super CC both playing back towards top A. They do catch some vision now as a push from Legion starts to come in at least a little bit here. They're playing over towards mid-bridge. Zuzi gets put to no health though and gets cleaned up. It's just so hard to fight out 2 players in that little 1v2 scenario. And with that being said, his brother's going to get cleaned up as he gets grappled and tries to make his way out. But now with only 1 kill left to play with, might be looking at an early 2-0 lead going over to AB here.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to say it's impossible here, but I mean, with literally no lives to give right now for Legion Gaming, obviously they're finding themselves behind the 8 ball, and that sticky almost looked like it was right on target. So far, the shots seemingly are that negative force that player just a little bit more forward than they want to be, but Suspector not able to get the melee even with the grapple. I like the idea of the play. Legion Gaming still down by 3.
They know where they're going to spawn, and Camo's coming up in 20. But they're going to have to get a 2-0 lead wipe here, and they do trade out 1 kill, but that's going to be it again. Like we said, with only needing 1 kill, they find it on that player towards glass. It's just if you kind of even peek at all and they both shoot you, you're just in such a tough spot to try to battle out, and sure enough, we see another cleanup. Nice early gameplay here from ascending baseline. Super CC and Suspector not disappointing, and the teamwork on... It hasn't been one player really just putting up huge numbers, right? It's been just incredibly teamwork-oriented gameplay with the added, skill of their shot and no scopes that we've seen from them. But just overall great teamwork while they're out-rotating Legion Gaming. And Legion's still playing really well. They're analyzing the situations. They're trying to collapse and push, but AB's just been so quick and heads up on their plays and their advantages that we see, even with less damage dealt than Legion by several hundred. It was like 800 less damage. they still weren't able to come away with the win.
Yeah, we kind of you kind of mentioned it as well. Like it's the balance really between the two. Like in that game number one, I think it came up to 26 actually. So technically Chase, I'm sorry, excuse me, Super CC had 14 kills, and Suspector was like right behind them with like 12 because with the 26, but had like 11 assists and whatnot. Even that one, 13 and 12. So yeah, a very balanced attack right now coming out of the duo from the baseline in both Suspector and Super CC. And you like to see that, especially because the likes of Uzi and Zuzi. Uzi and Zuzi obviously just barely didn't make it to the Dallas land, courtesy of Renegade and Legend downright stealing their spot at the last second. They actually have won some of the side tournaments, the 2v2 tournaments in Halo Infinite, so obviously no stranger to the 2v2 gamer Uzi and Zuzi. Meanwhile, Suspector and Super CC are in the mix, and so is Uzi. That's a fight right there.
Oh, you imagine it had one of their qualifying spots, Atlanta, or in Atlanta, or kind of tied around
yeah.
HCS as well. How sick would that have been? It would have been 2 lands tied into the 2v2. But back into this game, as we see, Uzi grabbing 3 kills off the rip. Zuzi, his brother, has the sniper, not able to find the shots that he needed to, and nor is he able to find the trade. Great job by Super CC to actually live there. He's going to put his brother in a tough spot. He had Repulsor, but not able to use it well enough to walk away with a trade. So he does get cleaned up. Super CC has the sniper. He's going to find both players in front of him. Does get cleaned up. Now it leaves Suspector trying to trade out a kill where he can. He's running around here towards the stairs, has that Repulsor, gets the first stick. Almost makes it a double, but great double melees here from Zuzi to walk away with the win.
Yeah, that had to be a little BXB action coming from Zuzi's way. He had a melee quick, and that little bit of speed with the BXB is serious. Tied up at 5 apiece, guys. And just remind you guys at home, by the way, this is your Straight Rippin' Pro Scrim night. You're probably thinking, well, where are the scrims? Where are the 4v4s? Well, don't worry. Shut up. We'll get there. Okay, this is the warm-up right now. 2v2 action between Ascending Baseline Legion Gaming, warming up for the 4v4 action, which should start in about less than 30 minutes. It's going to be really exciting to watch these two teams, full teams, go at it. Just as exciting as the 2v2s are, 8-5 advantage for Ascending Baseline. The one-shot Zuzi ain't nowhere to go. Uzi, it could be next. Super CC really starting to feel himself.
Yeah, it looks like both players wisely back down, try to reset this angle. Collapse is coming in for AB, but Zuzi snuck his way out into a back smack and a double kill. Finds himself a thrust and camo spawning in 5 seconds. You know they want this, but wisely playing back. All he wants to do is block these loop spawns, force them spawning over towards Snipe so they can guarantee this camo. They're going to get camo, not only that, but oh, he should have gotten more kills though, but great job by Suspector. Jumps way higher than we were expecting to find that kill. Zuzi gets camo, but with the pressure coming on him, we'll see how many kills he's able to find.
It's funny when you think of the twins, especially Zuzi, you think of like, really fast gameplay, really like crazy dynamic plays, but you don't oftentimes think of, let me crouch and hide and make them lose timing so I get an easy backsmack. But that's exactly what you saw Uzi do. So it's just as exciting as some of the crazy, high octane speedy plays are. Well, hey, some crazy sneaky plays can really make some things happen. And tied up at 10 apiece right now. You got yourself a camouflage, you got yourself a shock, but you don't have Super CC, and winning a piv right there is huge as another 1v1 goes down, and this one's actually going to go Suspector's way. Ascending Baseline take the lead.
Yeah, they have the lead, they have the shock rifle. There's some great shots by Legion Gaming, but even better ones from Suspector. Takes his advantages and makes sure he doesn't lose it there. Zuzi grabs himself a kill. Suspector cleans that up with the shock, but takes damage, is forced to run away here. Does escape towards Nest. He's got players on both sides of him now. Teammate spawns over towards Loop. That should catch them off guard. They probably were expecting Snipe Tower, and I think sure enough, as we see Zuzi get cleaned up, it did catch him off guard, but it still allowed Uzi to push across, get the kill, and grab the shock rifle. Gets great use out of that last bullet and finds the kill, but his teammate, once again, Suspector spawning right over towards Loop, does find the cleanup. This game's just trading back and forth until Zuzi gets this kill. We might finally see a break in the pace.
Seeing Zuzi. Still looking good right now, tied up. 15 apiece. They're the ones on the map taking space almost immediately, having that advantage. However, not able to take full advantage of that ascending baseline, end up winning out that play, giving them a 1-kill advantage.
New camo, 15. Spectre and crew, they recognize where the spawns come up. You can see the ping here on the map. New camo and 10, they're trying to take their time, see if they can win these engagements. The trade comes in towards Yard. Super CC now left in a 1v1 with Zuzi. Top gold forced to back down. Camo just now spawns. Both players taking their time. They're going to recognize where their teammates spawn, try to find where each other are. Both members in front of Zuzi. He's not going to be able to find the kill. Also at the height disadvantage, the Chow comes in, somehow finds a trade, and the Uzi now being able to get that camo. It's got to be his like 10th camo of the series so far, as we've seen him in constant control of it, and now finding the early kill, and that's going to tie this one back up.
You gotta love Uzi, who's able to slow the game down whenever necessary, and he really does have a great feel for the game. As that camouflage comes up, he puts himself in a great position to stay alive, get a kill, and ultimately get himself the most important resource on the map. 21 kills right now for Legion Gaming. Ascending baseline, though, they've already have 2 games over them in the 2v2, and with time winding down, I mean, we might not be able to finish off a best of 5 here. And I mean, Legion Gaming, you kind of need to win this one right here, right now. Otherwise, you might be sacking the series right off the rip to ascending baseline.
Yeah, 22-21, but AB, they have the sniper. They're looking to make this 3-0 if they can come back and close this one out. Hunting for these kills, trying to recognize, see if anyone's hiding over here towards blue. Super CC's all by him, lonesome over here now towards driveway, and gets cleaned up. Suspector in no position to try to follow up on those kills. Suspector, though, he is sitting at 15 kills, 5 assists. So once again, he's been in the 20s for all of these games so far, and is once again here in game 3.
Just 2 more kills needed here for Legion Gaming, but just 2 kills behind them right on their tail is ascending baseline. So Legion Gaming, you can't get lackadaisical in this position. You have to respect your opponents and how they can go off at any given moment. That includes the first domino to fall, which is going to be Zuzi. Now Uzi left by himself over on the gold side, which is exactly what Super CC wants him. And just like that, you tie up the game. And now the ultimate hunter with a shock rifle in his hand, Suspector, lining up Zuzi off his spawn. Zuzi just barely getting away with his life, but ascending baseline starting to take space.
Oh, this was a rough spot to be in, given camo spawning here now, but with some early damage coming out from Zuzi, they're going to be able to push out of snipe area and get great damage onto both of these players. Oh my goodness. Okay. We cannot panic. I was about to panic. We saw, I think it was Zuzi, have the camo. He didn't pop it because he wanted to get the kill. He went for the melee, but canceled the melee too early to pop the camo and did not kill that player. Dies, loses camo, game's tied now at 24 all. And that would have been almost definitely the most tragic moment that we've seen. To lose that way, that would have been horrible to see, Tony.
Yeah, luckily that didn't happen there. Things got they got a little scary. They definitely got a little scary, but eventually it is ascending baseline who are able to get their first win of the series, and on the backs of a 17 kill performance from Uzi, who seemingly at this point might be spawning with camouflage. You might have to hit up Halo Studios to check his PC, because he has every camo. It just is on him.
Yeah, it almost seems like he's spawning with camo at this point, but that was yeah, he's definitely had like 90% of the camos so far, but like we said, luckily it's one of those things that did not happen. We don't have to reminisce on that scenario and can move past it very quickly. Probably have time for 1 or 2 more before we get back into the 4s here, Tony, and luckily the series is by no means over.
Oh yeah, and I think the goal is for us to have this warm up that go into about 7 p.m. Eastern. So it's 6:44 p.m. Eastern. So we literally might have time for literally maybe one more game if we're lucky, depending on how fast it goes. Maybe we finish out the best what could be the best of five series. That was about an 8 minute game, which went down to the wire here. So Uzi and Zuzi take that one. Have the opportunity to maybe tie things up, and maybe we do play a game number five, which would be fun to see and see the tiebreaker. So we'll see exactly what happens here. Either way, again, this is the appetizer for what is the main course, which will be 4v4 scrims, and with a little bit of money on the line here, we're gonna do 13 games, so best of 13, or we play until 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So whichever comes first is what we're actually going for, and the winner by the time we actually hit that cutoff, or whoever guarantees them a spot, guarantees, I guess it's mathematically impossible, but in the 13 games, will just end up winning and taking that little bit of money that Straight Rippin has put on the line. Obviously, a big thank you to Straight Rippin as an organization. It's a name that I feel like if anybody, like whether it's you or maybe even like your older brother or whoever it is, has ever crossed paths with Halo, especially like from a ranked or competitive side, you've heard of the name Straight Rippin in the past, and obviously it's a name that brings you back a little bit here, and it's exciting to have them back as an organization and really stepping up in a big way, putting out some great content for us. And yeah, just want to give a big shout out to Straight Rippin. If you agree, make sure you drop a follow in that chat. Straight Rippin is here, and so is Ascending Baseline and Legion Gaming.
Speaking of spawning with camos and Uzi's had a lot of these snipers to start this game and in the series as well, as he finds this one, and with camo spawning now, he would have had it if his brother didn't just steal it from him. They almost get that double kill, but some just unselfish plays here. We love to see it, Tony. Uzi's going to drop the sniper over here to his brother who got that camo. They spotted where that player was towards Rad Tunnel, and they've been punished by some of these pushes multiple times this game. So we'll see, or this series, so we'll see how they elect to play this. They know how Ascending Baseline likes to play. I think they spotted that both are here. This is the whole time it's going to backfire, and Zuzi will find both kills, and that's going to be a 2-for-0 trade, exactly what Legion wanted to have happen. They should recognize now where the spawns are as they push through both A and C. They spot one hiding, find him again. The other player's back B, doesn't hit the double no-scope, which would have been disgusting, but will still find the double. And this is definitely the best start we've seen here now for Legion.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's one of those situations where it's like, oh my gosh, Susie cannot miss. But it's one of those situations where the hiding from the camouflage play, if it works, we're calling them a genius. But when it happens like that, where you get double no-scoped and then spawn trapped, you're like, wow, you got to rip that page out of the playbook immediately. It's tough, but it's definitely one of those either it works or it doesn't. And that time it didn't.
Yeah, we can see 6-1 leads. Just great opening start here. Trying to spot out where these players are. They know they're at least one towards A. Great damage from Zuzi, trying to jump up from camo. Find the kill. He will get cleaned up by his brother over there towards Rat Tunnel. And with Suspector hiding now here towards back B, his position is now known. Does get some early damage and some good damage. Stop this push, buy him some time to allow his teammate to spawn once again. The battle comes off here towards Desperate. Great movement, but not able to find the kill there. Zuzi finds himself another one.
Yeah, right now, Legion Gaming just looks so comfortable here on Live Fire. This is the best that we've seen them look in the 2v2s right now. Uzi does eventually go down, and Uzi, I'm very surprised that player did not see. Oh no, he did. He saw the glimpse of him, chasing him down a little bit here. But the mental timer goes off, and you know that the enemy's team's teammate spawns up. So no longer a 1v1 with you versus Camo. Now it's a 1v2, and now you're at an extreme disadvantage of Super CCs, isolated, taken down. Looks like a 9-2 advantage for Legion Gaming.
Yeah, 9-2 here. Suspector got the sniper and got out. Does find the body shot. Nice grenade comes in, forces the player out, gets the double kill onto the camo player as well. Sniper is still on the map though. Super CC will grab that. But finding both of those kills was definitely huge to get AB back in this game.
Zuzi stripping that sniper away from ascending baseline there. Little bounce grenade lands right on target. The no scope looks nasty and almost gets the two-piece from across the map. Zuzi again barely missing with the sniper so far, but Super CC makes sure that he gets up close and personal to get that sniper off of him, and easy kill ends up turning into a bit of a trade courtesy of a stick.
I mean, it's great plays from both teams. You can even tell that they're reading and predicting each other, but the way they're moving around the map, sometimes still able to catch their opponents off guard there. And that's what we saw from Super CC to get those kills towards bottom middle. Take Sniper out of the equation. As we see another big battle here happening towards the screens, it will be a trade at the end of the day. It's going to put Uzi and Suspector in a 1v1 battle here towards top middle. Uzi walks away with that one, and now a 15-7 lead. Legion pulling even further ahead.
Uzi's only died 2 times so far this entire game right now. And a large reason why they have that advantage that they do is because there's so little deaths. As I casters curse him on his way to his 3rd death, still quite an impressive stat line at this point in the game.
Yeah, Camo's coming up in 5 seconds though, so you're going to see the players towards ascending baseline try to rotate back towards that side of the map here. Legion is coming in with the collapse, but they know where both players are. Here's one on cuts, there's one on sandbags. Suspector, he left his teammate though. The QT does get activated to go back towards B once again, but Zuzi finds Camo and gets out. Definitely an interesting kind of swing of map movements to allow this to happen, but it is Legion Gaming with both equipments once again.
Another camouflage that does go the way of the Legion Gaming duo, and Super CC somehow finds a kill onto Uzi, but Zuzi, the one with camo, survives, and arguably the more important threat on the map right now is obviously getting the camouflage off of it. As Uzi survives, Legion Gaming still have the advantage.
Yeah, new sniper's coming up in 10 seconds. Uzi doing what he can to get some serious damage down onto both players. Forces them down towards cuts and camo side of the map. Uzi's doing what he can to try to clean up on some of this damage, but they elect to play together here, secure this new sniper rifle. With an 18-10 lead, they've got a lot of flexibility here. Great double push from ascending baseline. Cleans up Uzi, who is left top middle. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Zuzi here to try to make something happen. Does have some time to work with. Starts to push top middle. You have a player, looks like Suspector's just waiting to get those call-outs there. They do come in.
Oh, there's a 2-piece, and even connects on the no-scope, making that player one shot, and Uzi takes advantage of every last bit of that damage, and now gets a sniper in for himself. So that sniper really stays in the hands of Legion Gaming, along with an 8-kill lead.
It seems like every time they've had the sniper, except for that time, they basically at least walked away with a 2-in-1 trade, and that's at the very least. You can see that's built into a 20-13 lead now. Super CC does have sniper, trying to give them an answer of their own, little taste of their own medicine here, as he does hit a nice shot to buy some time. The push comes in from Suspector. The cleanup is there. New camo's getting ready to spawn in 15. Might be the last one of the game that we'll see if Legion regains any control of this map. And with only one shot left to work with Super CC, it's going to be they're in a tough spot here still.
Definitely a world where Legion Gaming are able to tie up the series and bring us into a game number 5, but ascending baseline clearly not out of it just yet and don't plan on giving up anytime soon. One bullet in the sniper here for Super CC, are just barely missing out on that first shot. Curve slides his way into the action once again. Super CC still having his shields down to 0, and every time he pokes, they make him pay for it until eventually Uzi escapes with the camouflage. This is what he wanted that entire time.
Hey, he gets the camo for the 1100th time this series. 22-17, puts it to use immediately. Nice double teamwork here comes in. Nowhere to go now for Suspector. He does find himself a stick to try to breathe some life back into this game here, but with only 2 now to go for Legion Gaming, we may be looking at a tied series.
And obviously Super CC is in the baseline, really feeling the pressure right now, slowing the game down to a crawl here, bringing it back over towards tower. is maybe the only chance that they have to maybe slow down those deaths. They could only give one more for Legion Gaming take the win here. So sending baseline, you can really make some magic happen, but you got to start valuing your lives right here, right now. Zuzi has gotten himself a quantum translocator. You know, he already is aggressive without it. Now imagine with it.
Yeah, we've seen him have it a couple times so far this game. Gets the catch onto a player, finds the kill, and gets out. Was in a tough spot, sandwiched between two, but uses it perfectly to win the game with an exclamation point on that one, Tony. New sniper was up, but they don't even need it here with QT plays like that.
Yeah, and you got to wonder, like, does he make that first play where he flies out the way that he did if he didn't have the QT, that get out of jail free card? Like, when you have the QT, you're really able to play ultra aggressive because you know you have that comfortability where as long as you activate it in time before dying, you're able to really get out of almost any sticky situation. So you get that first kill, you bounce back, you then continue to get aggressive and then turn that defensive tool into an offensive one for the final kill. Like you said, that was just beautifully played. That was masterfully played by Zuzi right there, who puts on a great performance, 68.42% accuracy there, and also leading in slays. So big time plays being made by Zuzi, and we're going into a game number 5 to decide who takes the 2v2 portion of our straight ripping pro scrim night.
Yeah, that was some of the better QT plays that we've seen. And, you know, he may have still gone for it considering, you know, how late in the game and the lead that they had, but to have QT and go for it and then actually pull off the double in that fashion, definitely disgusting work, like you said. And, you know, pointing out the accuracy as well. I think the Twins have been in the 60s for at least the last 2 games here for both of them. So shooting extremely well here to start.
Yeah, it feels like they've been averaging 60% accuracy. Meanwhile, I'm averaging just above a 38 on a daily basis. It really is yin and yang what I'm watching right now. Super CC finally able to get himself a camouflage. I feel like we actually haven't been able to say that too much. It's really been all Legion Gaming, specifically Uzi himself. But now Super CC getting a chance with the camo.
Yeah, we can see the game definitely a slower start than we've seen in most of these. Super CC gets the shock rifle again, though. Gonna find grapple here also. Not sure if he spotted that player over there towards top glass. Not seeing him, though, could put them in a really bad spot. Does find 1 kill. Really nice headshot there to take out Uzi. But no, he definitely doesn't know this player's here. Well, he knows now, but his camo also runs out at the same time. Grapples up and misses the melee, and Zuzi. Huge win.
And flying on in with the shock, nobody able to escape. Zuzi, when he has that grapple and still has 1 left with it, and now really know exactly where sending baseliner spawning. You actually planned it out this way as you now see a 2-pronged attack approaching the spawns of ascending baseline. 1 from the high side from tower over towards A, and you also see Uzi on the low side watching that escape route, and really depends how exactly ascending baseline are able to get out of this. You give them a little bit of leeway, lure them into a false sense of security, put major damage down, and this is how you just perfectly dissect them right off a spawn. Uzi and Zuzi doing the damage, putting in the work, and taking the lead once again.
Yeah, up 4-3 now. Camo coming up in 30 seconds. Zuzi, they spot the player over there towards glass. Should be able to recognize they're going to have to deal with both players over towards long haul. Uzi decides to trade out some damage and plays from really far back towards C, and same with Zuzi. They recognize where that damage is, do not want to get double pushed. They do find 1 kill, and with the plasma pistol in Uzi's hands, he finds the other. Camo coming up in 5 seconds now. Great job by Legion Gaming to double up on the score.
And these kills feel like they can become even more important when you talk about the camouflage coming up here. Uzi in a perfect position to fight for it, but you got to deal with 2 members of ascending baseline. You deal with 1. Super CC goes down. Suspector hiding in the shadows, but you'll be brought to the light courtesy of Uzi's bandit. And once again, Uzi has himself an active camo.
Great use of the shroud screen and the plasma pistol to actually win that scenario and those trades to get the camo here. You could see just kind of how perfectly he had to play it to survive for as long as he did and get his shields back. They do get rewarded with camo, like we said, and they know these players over here towards control, trying to play in angles, some sneaky angles to get some good damage trades, but they do find the camo kill. It is another 2v1 trade, but you'll take that at least to get rid of an early camo.
Legion Gaming, who I think started Series 02, if I remember correctly, now looking to pull off a reverse sweep right now. 11-5 advantage coming in from Legion Gaming. You see them spot out the spawning players and isolate Super CC, get a huge kill, and really try to do the same now to Suspector. Super CC off of spawn, immediately having reticles trained on him here as sending baseline find himself in trouble. You are at a huge deficit right now that you need to find a way to turn around.
Yeah, 11-5, but we're seeing the game slow down. Definitely playing a lot similarly to the recharge we saw earlier. A lot of these games we're sending baseline, they are really effective at not being spotted out on some of their rotates.
Whoa.
But Zuzi hitting shots like that shuts down any hope they have of catching Legion off guard.
Over double the scoreline of the opposition. You can't ask for much more than that if you're Legion Gaming. Zuzi right now, 7-3. Uzi only has died 2 times so far this game, and Legion Gaming not only being very formidable on the offensive front, but also just being so hard to kill with the way that they watch each other's backs, and when the moment calls for it, they just rip heads. Legion Gaming going off.
A great job here to lock down A with the shock. He's got 2 shots left to work with, and Camo spawning in 15. Flies out to get active on the map here. His teammate with no shields, bottom middle. They do double push this angle and survive, but they're both no shields. Can the trades come in? Sure enough, they can't. Zuzi gets out. Now Suspector will find himself 1 trade, but with kills and a lead like this in a game 5, Tony, here, could be lights out momentarily. Uzi finds himself yet another camo, but the trade and the melees are missed. Picking up 2 here will change the pace of the game. It's really what they need, but Suspector not able to find the kill fast enough. His shield should be back. Does find it, though, with no trade. This could be the start of what they really need.
Yes, Suspector and Super CC still find himself behind, but every comeback starts with a nice chain of kills that go your way, especially in the 2v2s. As you check every corner, you find one. He doesn't have the green gun, but you have teamwork, which clearly makes the dream work. Back by Suspector to give us any baseline, yet another kill.
Yeah, quickly approaching the point of no return here. Suspector looking for some kills, does find it, but you can tell Zuzi and crew, they know they just need trades from here on out. Take this one early. Still a lot of clock left here. Super CC will use the grapple to secure shock rifle and escape out towards back A. They do know where the vision is here, at least on some of these players, but Suspector gets cleaned up a little bit too early for Super CC to really make anything happen. Trying to run away best he can, does extend his life, but for how long?
21st kill been accumulated by Legion Gaming. Super CC, though, still has that shock, which obviously is so important and can really swing a fight in their direction. Easier said than done, especially when you're staring down a bit of a deficit like ascending baseline are doing literally right here, right now. Another 1v1 happens over toward the gold side. Meanwhile, Super CC has something to worry about in front of him too. I believe it's Uzi. Where does Uzi come from though now? Attacking from 2 different sides. You see Suspector trying to get right back into the action, but by the time he does so, it's just too little too late. Suspector does end up taking down one and somehow takes down both. Big double by Suspector.
22-13. Gonna need a lot more of that, Tony, if they get back into this one here. But it does start, like we said, with that. New camo coming up soon as well. Still has a lot of shock ammo to work with. Is gonna have to put it to very good use. Not able to find the headshot on the first one, but does on the second. That perfect will help bring them back here. Maybe help them secure camo. Can't find the headshot, but does know where these players are. Should recognize both spawns over here into gold. They will elect to trade the sniper or the shock over here to Super CC, who has the camo. Let him play up on the map a little bit further. It's going to be exactly what they need, as we see Legion Gaming not trying to give up anything.
Still a dangerous combination is this shock and camouflage. Nade goes down and Got there a little bit too early. A whole lot of damage being done to yourself, but they're not able to take advantage of it just yet. Meanwhile, both members of Legion Gaming looking like hit the respawn screen, and with that ascending baseline, making some strides.
Yeah, but they can't even afford to have too much more of that, as it is so close to the end here for Legion. They do spot both players out here towards top A. The push starts to come in. Great grenade and shock damage will find one.
No trade. And there's a remote detonation, and with that, some celebratory team shots coming in as they reach the 25th kill and take your game number 5. Beautifully played by Legion Gaming, and if I remember correctly, that's considered a reverse sweep, right?
I think by definition, if it was, tournament 4 and a best of 5 to start, then yeah, theoretically it would fall into that realm of a reverse sweep, as we did see Spectre and Super CC take the first 2 games. And they were close, but decided, still deciding victories. And then after that, while the next 2 were close, this last one was definitely all Uzi and Zuzi. I think it ultimately came down to just a few really good rotations, going either under or above the players. Even that last kill, you could see one of the twins was hiding top A and was getting claps on from both sides, but Wisely was hiding at an angle that he wasn't spotted and forced a 1v1 that he was able to win and just close it out.
And looking at the stats, and we talked about the even stats, especially when we talked about Spectre and Super CC early in the series. Well, we kind of see that right now between Zuzi and Uzi. 14 kills, 7 assists out of Zuzi. Uzi only dying 6 times that entire game, which is absolutely huge, and really felt like kind of the theme when Legion Gaming were coming back in this series, and just beautifully played right there. The 2v2s, Uzi and Zuzi play a whole lot of them. We've seen them again on LAN. We saw them almost qualify for the Dallas LAN that was hosted by FaZe. So no strangers whatsoever to 2v2s, and I'm sure they want to see some more here in Halo Infinite. And what we want to see more of is some 4v4 action, because twos are definitely fun. However, 4v4 is where it's at. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to let you know that more players now starting to join the lobby means we should be getting into that 4v4 action very soon. I think there's gonna be a whole lot of objective that we're watching here. I think maybe a couple, they might sprinkle in maybe 2 Slayers within the actual scrim itself, if I remember correctly. But we're gonna see a whole lot of objective in this one, and we're gonna see the full lineups of Legion Gaming and Ascending Baseline as well, which is also gonna be great practice for them.
Yeah, we see him squeeze in some here and there, and these are 2 of the teams that are more willing, I think, to play some of the Slayers and Scrims, as we see that kind of vary in a lot of the pro Scrims as well. Like you said, seeing the full rosters of both of these teams, and 2 teams that are fully capable of pulling up great upsets, as we've seen them even in Atlanta do. So with, like we said, kind of a little bit of a downtime or while we are waiting for some of the pro league and kind of major events to kind of pick up again, but players staying fresh with eyes on the prize and where the focus needs to be, making sure when the opportunity arises and the time comes that they are ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I remember my old coach used to say, "You don't have to get ready if you stay ready." And so, he was trying to get us to work out during the off seasons. I would not. I would eat terribly, donuts, Reese's, anything possible, and I was not working out whatsoever. But he always just say that you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. And during times like this, during some of the off season or the off peak times of Halo, we know there's going to be some brighter days around the corner, and it's going to be big. Think about what Halo Infinite was, in that first year. Dude, the orgs, the lands, the crowds. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. You got to think whatever comes next for Halo's multiplayer, it might just be right back to it. So if you're putting in the work right now, even in Halo Infinite, you were staying ready for whatever comes in next, and even closer to what's coming in Pro League next month. Obviously, Halo Fest right around the corner. We still have some goodies left at the rest of the year. Which, by the way, Kyle, I don't know if you agree with me when I say this, but when I first heard about Halo Infinite and the grassroots area that we were in 2026, I was a little worried at first, but like if you think about all the events that we had, the lands, the online stuff, the variety as well, it's been fantastic. I think this year could have been a tough one, but so far, if you really think about what we've had between Birmingham, Atlanta, like I said, the Dallas 2v2s, all the online stuff, it's been really good actually.
Yeah, there's still been a lot of Halo action, and it's been super entertaining. And not only has there been these tournaments and things, but they've been great to watch also. So, I think after the four, the years that we've had, and it was a wild ride, and I actually loved Infinite. Um, a lot of it. It was both super big roller coaster of up and downs for me personally as well. So it's kind of nice to have a little bit of extra downtime, or take a little bit of a breather after because it was super rough for me. I know it was super rough for a lot of the players and things as well. So, I think in some cases it was necessary or good in a lot of scenarios here. So, definitely no ill will, and just great to still have some infinite, and maybe not as action packed as we had during an active HCS season. But there's some nice things about that too at times.
It's sometimes a nice breath of fresh air. It's just it's good. It lets you put things in perspective. It lets you better prepare mentally for whatever is your next step and whatnot. Honestly, a lot of you ranked players out there, yeah, some of y'all need this. Like some of y'all just be on tilt all the time. Like one round of slaves don't go your way, ready to throw the whole game. Maybe you guys need to step outside. Take a nice breath of fresh air before your next match. A nice breather is always great in any sense. And that includes going into some of our Halo years as well. It really has been refreshing and still exciting here. Guys, remember, this is your Trade Ribbon Pro Scrim night. Two teams already want some great practice, so why not put them together, put a little money on the line, and let's throw a broadcast. We have obviously me and Kyle here on the main broadcast. I'm sure there's some amazing co-streamers out there. If you're out there, what's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a good time. 2v2s have been great. The 4v4s is somehow going to be even better. So I know right now we're just waiting for everybody to get into the lobby and get ready. It's just barely after 7 p.m. Eastern. But we will be getting locked and loaded very soon here with the full rosters of Legion Gaming and Ascending Baseline, which I guess, while we have a few, why don't we talk about it? And I guess from your perspective, when you think about how does Legion Gaming roster come together and what you've seen from them, how have they looked? And maybe even on the contrary, talk about Ascending Baseline when you first heard about this roster, maybe some of your expectations. You bring a unique point of view to it because obviously you're a former professional player yourself, professional coach, caster, foot model. It does it all. So really talk to me about when you see these teams and see the rosters and what you think about with them.
I mean, these were two rosters that you cannot sleep on these teams, and they're capable of coming out and making a play and a run all the way to the end on Sunday as well. All the players are super individually skilled and some of the most unique names. When you're talking about players like Ryanoob, somebody who's been winning and had so much success across so many titles and has always been in the conversation and always had been to a point where his team is not only in the finals at times, but he has a dynamic where it's almost different than any other team out there, and he's such a unique player, and that goes for everyone on the roster on both of these teams. I still think Legion has a lot that they can show, and kind of see where they can contend when they have more opportunities against the top teams here. So always looking forward to see how they are continuing to develop. We've seen the success they've had in these twos and how they can compete against anybody. And we've seen them contend with a lot of the great teams as well. But, we've seen them have a lot of struggles also. So seeing them get things fine tuned a little bit more and more into, their final competitive and final form is always good to see.
Absolutely, and I also think about a lot. Like obviously, skill is important, and obviously, so is teamwork and game planning. But I also think about it maybe like from like a macro sense, and and I think like having the intangibles and being Being overall professional. I feel like, if you're gonna seek out, an org, like, for example, the Sunday baseline at Legion Gaming, obviously if you want, salaries and travel and all this, you want an organization to invest in you. You you kind of have to be a good person. Like, you gotta be able to advertise yourself a little bit. You have to come out, do the content and stuff. Be a friendly person and whatnot. I think of like players like Snakebite, for example, a Lucid, who are just overall not only amazing professionals in game, but also outside of the game as well. And I think I see that a lot in all of these players. Like, when I think of, Suspectum and Super CC, they're some of the nicest people in the world. Same with Tapping Buds. I've heard nothing but great things about Tapping Buds. And I've talked to Ryan, just great people, people that, you want to root for. And for the Legion Gaming roster, find, great young men that you want to root for, not being jerks, not being bad influences. I feel like that's definitely gonna matter, even now, but especially also in the future as well, whatever's next in Halo, making sure that you're marketable and not messing things up.
Yeah, it's always good to be nice to people out there and not to in most cases. So, for the most part, keep things civil. You know, keep things positive, and that's definitely one of the things we love, or I love about gaming. If anything, it is a great place to just you want to have some fun and keep things civil. It might be a nice place to blow off some steam sometimes, Tony. I know I've seen that once or twice in my day as well, and maybe even myself have been there. But overall, gaming's an escape, really, and a great one at that. And especially something as fun as Halo, and as competitive, and has been so instrumental in the entire world as well. So definitely ready for some fours and to see where this action takes us.
Yeah, again, and I'm taking a look at the information that we got earlier, and yeah, so it looks like again very much objective heavy. We are going to sprinkle in two Slayers within it, so we're going to see 11 objectives and two Slayers, which as much as I love Slayer, I think a lot of people will probably agree that objective is definitely the bigger test, and I think especially when it comes to scrims and practice, I think people want to see objective a little bit more. So I don't think anybody has any objections to being objective heavy in the scrim.
Yeah, I mean, Slayers are fun to watch though too. I think the downside, or why we didn't, you know, see them or get to see them as often, is because how differently the players play them in a tournament versus online. But these are two teams that are going to be playing those Slayers in the exact same way, I think, that they play, in the tournament as well, because they're practicing, at 100% at all times. Where in a lot of other cases, you might not see players' tournament personalities or form outside of a tournament. So I think the Slayers are always a pleasure to watch between these teams, and I definitely enjoy them for sure. I mean, I'd even vote to play them when back when people are trying not to play them, but there's a lot of heads in the pie when it comes to deciding game types at times, or one person does have control, and ultimately the party leader kind of decides it at the end of the day. So we do have these teams with a more drawn out game plan, and both about to give it their all here in these fours.
Definitely. And speaking of personalities, which I think we have a little bit of time here waiting for everything to get set up for us. But speaking of personalities, I think when I think of the lands that we've had throughout Halo Infinite, I think there's definitely a place where you have some of the biggest lands. I think of like the Dallas lands at Optics House and whatnot. Some of the North Carolina lands are always huge. Like the big giant majors, I think are really important. But I also find there's a place where and I know people are gonna probably hate me for saying this, but if you just take the spectators out of it and have a little bit more of an intimate setting like we've had at the Shopify Rebellion office in Los Angeles, we had at we were talking about the Dallas 2v2s over at Phase's place and whatnot, where and I know you want spectators, but I think when you get the players in like a land area, you still get them to show more personality. And I feel like we get a lot more. They have a little bit more fun and whatnot. Like it's a different type of vibe. And I would like to see that in the future. Like, I will still want to see majors, obviously. Still want to see, obviously, a world championship. But maybe sprinkle in one or two of those more, like, smaller scale lands where it's just the pros. Because I feel like you get a different type of vibe. And that does spill over on camera. Like, do you realize Bound was so fun at that event? Like, he just went out there with just having a great time, and a lot of people were. And I feel like they were just, I don't know, it was just a different type of vibe, which I think I would like to see that more.
No, it definitely is, and I know what you mean there. It's definitely a tough one to kind of walk, as you can cut a lot of costs when you don't have kind of spectators and get things done in an element like that. But at the end of the day, none of it exists without the spectators, right? So definitely a double-edged sword at times. But as we finally look at now our 4v4s that we are into, Little Gators shock camo to open this one up. Early points now for Legion Gaming and a few headshots as well.
Legion Gaming sending baseline, going at it in the 4v4s, and we didn't get to see any of Little Gators during the 2v2 action, but I'm happy we get to see him. That's another player that has quickly been coming into his own, and I've been really enjoying watching this gameplay. Little Gators, meanwhile, we switch gears over towards Ryan Doob. He was able to steal away a shock rifle, and looks like he wants the ball as well.
Yeah, Ryan Doob almost able to put that one to use, but does get cleaned up. Another trade comes in here for Common. Ball's down bottom center. Legion Gaming, the first ones to score here. Suspector flies in, though, grabs himself a double kill, and this might be the opening they need to start putting some points on the board.
Ball being rotated, Suspector has it in hands, finds a one-shot player, drops the ball momentarily, gets himself a cleanup, and without any hesitation, right back on the ball and scoring right now. Our sending baseline, trying to figure out exactly what it is rotated to, and it's away from the blue side over towards goal. But you see, Legion Gaming attacking from both sides. There's nowhere to run. They have to fight their way out. It looks like a sending baseline are ready to do just that. You deal with one. Can you turn it to two? Yes, you do.
Yeah, as another trade comes in yet again, that's going to leave Little Gators as the last player alive. But it for his team, that's Suspector with the ball scoring over towards gold and rotates the ball into A, as they elect to just evacuate gold pipes here and can keep scoring.
Little Gators back on screen here. And it looks like they're ready to ascending baseline. I actually think that was a momentary 3 down. Ascending baseline are coming off a spawn and getting reactivated quickly. Not even waiting for the rest of the team to come up, but trying to take advantage of the weakened players that are still trying to formulate a setup from Legion Gaming. Legion Gaming should have had room to breathe there, but ascending baseline, unlike what people think, they're not playing slow. They're playing fast off a spawn. They're fast to reactivate on the map.
Yeah, a couple more trades come in. It's a 2v2 scenario right now. Zuzi finds himself a kill to put 3 dead now for AB. Ryan Noob as last player alive, doing what he can to try to delay any ball time. Does grab it to almost pull off a nice trade. Grabbing that ball does allow you to melee even faster as well, but the cleanups come in. Push from ascending baseline does trade out yet another kill, but with Legion Gaming scoring once again, all they do have to sit back and wait.
Suspector with the win over Common. Also, even that one shot still peeking out and trying to do as much damage as possible. Absolutely huge, as eventually it's Legion Gaming that do end up going 3 down, and you have to trade out 1 life in Suspectors in order to do that. I think ascending baseline will take that trade any day of the week.
Yeah, with a fresh 3 down like that as well, that's going to give AB time to get right back into this one. Only down with 5 points now, and still scoring. He's got that sniper rifle, and they're looking to push across the map. Tapping Buns is the last one alive with the ball, but hasn't long enough to regain the lead here in this game, and picks up a trade here towards Backseat.
So frustrating here for Common. That ball just being rotated away from you time and time again. And Common now tries to push through, going and right to the elbow of Ryan Noob. 3 down once again. Go Legion Gaming, and Ryan Noob with shock has the ball. Super CC has himself a triple, and Legion Gaming are in trouble.
Yes, they are, Tony. We're reaching the later half of this game, and another kill coming in from Super CC. Almost a trade. Players no shields are over here towards long haul, but Rhino with the ball and scoring. is in this engagement, and this is a big one here. Wow, great plays by Common. We'll clean up that kill and secure the new ball.
Still having the lead right now. Are sending baseline, but Legion Gaming having that ball back over toward the goal side. Well-placed grenade by Super CC and survives despite being one shot. And wants to re-engage, it looks like. Ryan going right through the middle of the map, and he has some great positioning now as Super CC over toward the high window side. Chris Common baiting out that angle, but two end up forcing him out. Uzi the next one to get into a fight. Ryan Noob, couple of shots staying alive, but runs away from one fight, ends up into another.
Yeah, and another lead change as you see Little Gators gets a shot, gets the ball, gets the lead here for Legion Gaming. Been a very mixy game and a lot of action going on in towards gold pipes. But sending baseline with one player down. They've got a long way to push to get anywhere near towards the ball here. They might, and sure enough, do make their way into A, but tapping buttons isn't going to have a lot of help. Does get a flank. They didn't spot him making his way through, and he milled it. I thought he was going to be able to force a play ball. Does pick up 3 kills, allowing Super CC and the rest of the team to start pushing through. Great shots by Common, gets 1, but does get cleaned up. Ball still down on the map. 2 minutes here left to play, and Zuzi likes to throw the ball here out of gold, but still play up on the map.
Suzi's still on the screen right there. The nade ends up being just behind Tapping Buttons, who flies off of the top rope in order to take him down. Tapping Buttons now has a shock, but also has 2 members of Legion Gaming in front of him, making 1, making none here, as everybody getting cleared out and ascending baseline, scoring once again. They're fully set up. Legion Gaming need to get the ball out of their hands, and right now, Suspector and Legion, ascending baseline, they look ready.
They sure are ready here, and they are gaining in on this lead and getting some great damage down on these players trying to push. A trade comes in, it's a 3v3, but now it's 3 dead for Legion. I don't think they're going to be able to make their way across the map here, as 4 dead. Tapping Buttons and ascending baseline are going to pull off the comeback here and take this one 100-91.
Beautifully played here. Ascending baseline coming out hot. In round number 1, Legion Gaming put up obviously one hell of a fight for all of that round, and anything could change here as we go into round number 2, and Legion Gaming have a bit of a head start over toward that camo.
Yeah, sure enough, getting camo in back-to-back games here, back-to-back rounds, I should say. Although Shock Rifle going over to ascending baseline here early on was Rhino, who tried to get away with that, but Zuzi with the grapple will be able to chase him down. See that Shock Rifle change hands.
Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped.
Ball being rotated back over toward gold. Little Gators trying to push over, and he gets some good damage. Actually turns that into a double kill, so absolutely huge. Legion Gaming thought you had the advantage, but who knows what happens when Little Gators is making plays with camo.
Yeah, he's got the camo. See who gets the new Shock Rifle shortly as well here. Getting some good damage onto these players towards the bottom middle. Finds one, has another player right in front of him trying to shoot the shocks. The nades, does get some good damage down. Takes Tapping Buttons, no help, who does get cleaned up, but with 3 dead momentarily here, Suspector and Ryan are going to take that ball and get it away towards back C.
Ball ends up over toward the backside, and the baseline don't exactly have the setup that they want, but it looks like they have ball. They have Legion Gaming pushing up. If they can get around the Slays here, it could change things in a big way. But as Legion Gaming forced that ball off the map, I think that was actually probably a really good time to hop on board here with Legion Gaming as they look to take the ball, look to take a setup, and maybe put some distance between them and ascending baseline.
Call him twice.
On ball, one shot, dead. One top white, weak.
That was white.
Yeah,
One shot top point, one shot top point.
Hello.
We're just gonna fight through C. I'm fighting through C, bro.
Yep.
One shot bottom A.
Yo, two white, two white.
On me already, I think. On me already.
I'm here, Chris. I'm one
One's
CC
maker
flat,
now.
one shot, one shot.
One be white after that.
Nice, 3 dead, bro, 3 dead.
He's Mang.
Last guy. Gave us
Just
ball,
us.
gave us ball.
Absolute.
Spawning pipe, spawning pipe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
she
red,
got
they're
my
red.
pipes.
My camo,
Yeah.
watch my needles, watch my needles. watch my
Yeah,
needles.
Yeah, I'm 2 pipe there already. I'm gonna live. I'm trying to live.
They're
Two
gonna
pipe
they're
already.
planning me, they're
I'm
planning me,
looking
they're
here.
planning me.
No one go stairs on me.
Yeah, I
Watch
couldn't
out.
help you,
He
Chris.
drops.
I'm just dead.
One shot, needle. One shot. Front of it.
Live forever, Chris. You're
Could
good.
be from
Just live forever.
Nice.
Top gold.
Play,
In
don't
bats
play,
shooting you.
don't
In
play,
bats.
don't play, don't play. You ready to fight C-Plat? You ready to fight
I'm
C-Plat?
reloading. I'm
I
reloading.
can look
reloading.
C-plat for you guys. I'm looking C-plat for you guys.
One's already here, one's already here. Pushing backside, backside,
One
backside.
C-plat. C-plat has a bullet.
Ball
They're
I'm
getting
fighting
white,
ace
yeah,
spawners.
One's white.
Bottom right, bottom right, bottom right, bottom right. Kill
You're
that guy,
good,
kill that guy.
You're good, you're good, you're good. You're so good, you're so good.
The guy white steps.
One also pipes.
Yo,
One shot
Good,
Mangler,
good,
one shot
good.
Mangler, Ryan. Top A cut, one shot Ryan. Top A cut, one shot Ryan.
It's one
Yeah,
long.
I'm playing,
It's
I'm
one
playing
long.
it,
It's
playing
Two
it.
one
pipes on
long.
me. 2 pipes on me. Trying to live.
There's a
one
guy
half
A
wall.
cross
I
though.
can't still, Ryan.
One shot half wall. Absolute half wall for you.
I hear half full. He's gonna die, gonna die.
Pipes, maybe pipes.
Should be on
And
my long.
last guy gold, last guy gold.
Yeah.
Where are we spawning them? Where are we spawning them?
I'm spawning the main, guys.
Long, long, long,
What the
long.
fuck? Okay, C-plat.
Nice, nice.
One
Spawning it,
on
spawning
right.
it.
Do it.
Hey there, hey there, hey there.
They might have split.
Some clear communication coming out of Legion Gaming there. 65 points already, which feels like night and day compared to what we saw in that round number 1. It was back and forth, very close. Ascending baseline obviously took the best of them in that round number 1. Well, round 2 feels like all Legion Gaming right now.
Yeah, 73-11 now, and they are looking to close this one out as we see. A lot of defense going over here towards back C. Most of the action, gold pipes back C. You can see where wherever the ball gets, with the options to play the ball, it's very, very easy to just kind of reset the map. Couple of trades come in. Legion Gaming 3 down. It's going to be hard for them to push. Great plays come in from Ryan, who finds himself a triple kill with the back smack and knows where these players are coming off spot.
He's not done, man. Is throwing haymakers, a pseudo overkill right there, as he really does have his way with Legion Gaming here. Ascending baseline looking very good, getting a whole lot of points, and I mean, they needed. They dug themselves quite the hole that Legion Gaming had. I think it's a 73-37 advantage for Legion Gaming.
Yeah, but that's exactly what Legion needs to tie this series, or this, round back up, make this one a game. Camo's getting ready to spawn here. Common knows where some of these players are. One of them makes his way over to Batledge. He does get trade out. Leaves tapping buttons. Last player alive momentarily with Camo up on the map here. Ryan Noob comes off spawn. Does get cleaned up instantly though. And that allows Legion Gaming to make their way with ball here to safety once again.
Scoring once again, Legion Gaming. You see Uzi with that camouflage. Gonna be very hard for Ascending baseline to try to break when you get back smacked at any given moment, although never gets the back smack, does get a double melee, and ultimately Legion Gaming get a whole lot of points because of it.
Yeah, as we can see here, looking to close this one out. Super CC and the rest of Ascending baseline, they need to play perfectly. Not able to do so though, as we see a couple of kills come in with only 5-6 seconds left to score to win here. And it's going to be a tough or tall ask for Legion Gaming to not take this one. And Ascending baseline to get back into this. They're looking to do all they can. They're rotating the ball over towards A, not going down without a fight. Trying to play really aggressive here, up on the map, getting some good damage onto these players. But Uzi does make his way out of C. Zuzi's on a flank towards A, and with 4 down now for Ascending baseline, they shouldn't be able to do anything here to stop this one.
And this was going down, and that's gonna be Legion Gaming taking round number 2, and now a swing round 3 here on a recharge. Ascending baseline snuck away with a close one. Legion Gaming looking very comfortable throughout most of that round number 2, but round 3 can be night and day, and it looks like once again the team that spawns over toward the blue side gets himself a camo.
Yeah, Ryan who popping this camo very early here. Does find himself a kill with it. Gets grapple and immediately playing for that shock rifle. Pretty much what we've seen from every player here who gets camo to open up the games. And as you can see with the shock rifle, looking to make some plays. Finds one. Has another right in front of him. Gets the damage and the cleanup from his teammates. That puts 3 down for Legion Gaming and Ascending baseline now in scoring.
Sending baseline now trying to move into a setup, and every time they get a kill with staggers, Legion Gaming makes it harder for them to move in for a break. A big double kill coming in from tapping buttons, and mind you, Ryan Dude was already able to get away with the shock and camo combination. Now wants to put it to work, goes after his former teammate in common, and once again, Legion Gaming just dying one at a time here, and ascending baseline are the benefactor of it. As they're staggered, AB are scoring.
Yeah, pretty scary moment. Ryan Noob almost in a position where Common could have made a play happen, being down those shields there, but does walk away with a couple of kills and a lot of scored ball time here for ascending baseline. 35-0 as we see Zuzi trying to get some damage down, but great play by Super CC, not able to connect with the plasma pistol, but walks away with a win in the pivotal 1v1 battle here for gold. Almost able to find a second, but finally gets taken down.
Uzi with a nice little hot 5 onto Super CC back over toward the gold side, but Ryan was right there early for the cleanup, and even the cross map shots looking very good, tagging up Uzi left and right, despite being from across the map. Little Gators, though, when it's up close and personal, well, he's going to win that one. Super CC rotating this ball, keeping his eyes on the prize, and right now, ball time is king. 40-0 start coming out of ascending baseline.
Ball drop.
And tapping button playing some defense over here towards Needles. Trying to buy time before they push onto this ball. Knows he needs some reinforcements and some good damage down on the map. With new camo coming up in 10 seconds, this is not a fight and a push that you're going to want to lose. Does get cleaned up though. Great shots here from Legion Gaming to hold off this gold push. Ryan, who plays front of the map, is working on a flank, but the shields are back and the double teams here. The timing of the pushes is just a little bit off. Ascending baseline, 3 down.
Legion Gaming looking to come back into this one, and a nice setup here, and you imagine things have to be tied up very soon. In fact, it looks like Legion Gaming could take the lead by the time that this AB are able to get that ball out of their hands, and tapping buttons caught in a very bad spot. He ends up being taken down, and with that ascending baseline having a numbers disadvantage, also not having the ball, Common backside of his opposition turns it into 2, drops the shroud right before going down, but it's a lot of time coming in for Legion Gaming.
Oh, nice trade though from Ryan to turn around and actually get that kill. But like you said, Tony, it's a lot of time coming in here for Legion Gaming. And as Little Gators gets himself a great double kill with that grapple, he's able to use it to both get out of dodge and get the ball here as well back into gold and into scoring position.
Yeah, to kind of put that into perspective, you know, it wasn't too long ago we were talking about a 40-0 run in favor of ascending baseline. Well, look at the score right now. That was 71 straight points out of Legion Gaming since we talked about that run that ascending baseline ultimately went on. So kind of crazy to think about the level of dominance that we've seen as far as the swings from one team to another.
Yeah, this game number 1 is not disappointed here in this 4v4 action. Both teams tied up 1 apiece here. We are in round number 3 and ascending baseline battling back into this game. They take 3 dead now for Legion Gaming, and they still have ball over here towards long haul. They should be looking to tie this one up.
Big time shots. Little Gators down to 1. He ends up being taken down here, 71-62 advantage right now as Ryan Noob. Looks like he wants to get aggressive, finds a player over toward the bottom tower side. Still a 1-shot in Zuzi, and Zuzi survives, gets the kill. I thought Whooper was going to jump off the map there, but meanwhile, sending baseline, they're the ones with the ball. Now the lead once again. It really has been going down to the wire.
Enemy has the ball.
Tapping buttons does get cleaned up though. Ascending baseline has the lead only by a few points. Uzi looking to tie this one up, but wisely elects to rotate the ball while he can, though. They lost control of gold, ascending baseline, being pretty quick on this push. And not only that, but camo is up with 3 dead now for Legion Gaming. They might have 1 push, Tony, but might not even have that with how little is left here for AB to take this game and this round in this game number 1.
Ball dropped. Enemy has the ball.
85-72. Tapping Buttons with the camo, also has the teamwork, little bait and switch action, but looks like Legion Gaming attacking from multiple different angles. Despite all that, ascending baseline were the ones with the ball. 93 points, and Tapping Buttons can't find the kill.
That's a huge missed opportunity. He almost had 3 and would have forced them to drop the ball, but gets cleaned up and they live, which is going to make this push that much harder here now for Legion Gaming, or excuse me, for ascending baseline. Legion Gaming playing some great defense and no one in the position to stop this one. It happened to Legion earlier, but they come back and do it themselves here in this round 3 when it really counts. And Legion Gaming takes game number 1 here.
Wow. What a game number 1, and let me tell you, if that back and forth that we saw all game long is indicative of what we are expected to see throughout this entire series, well, you better buckle up. And I don't know many people that have a seatbelt at their, at their setup, but go get one, install one, because it is going to be one hell of a ride. Legion Gaming ultimately taking that one, but man, was it not easy.
Oh, that was a hard-fought one all the way down to the end. 291 to 245, extremely high-scoring oddball game as well. As you take a look at the stats there, Little Gators 220 time as carrier, Tapping Buttons as well, breaking the 2-minute mark. Really hard-fought back-and-forth game. Uzi and Common both over 40 kills, so you can see the kills and slays going in favor of Legion Gaming as they take this game. And assists, though, were pretty even across the board.
And I will say, although we saw Tapping Buttons get a bit turned on at one point in time over toward that bottom tower side, we got to give him a little bit of credit to drop 35 kills and have over 2 minutes of ball time. I find that to be actually very impressive. I feel like that's definitely someone that's doing it all. Like, if you think about the 2 minutes that he had that ball in, like, say he took the ball out of his hands for that 2 minutes, he might have ended with damn near 50 kills. Like, if you're putting 35 kills in 2 minutes worth of ball time, that's kind of a lot.
Oh yeah, you're definitely doing it all at that point because, yeah, like you said, you're completely removed from the equation half the time when you're holding the ball. Of course, you can drop it and shoot, but when a lot of the action's taking place up on the map, you are a spotter, not really a shooter at that point. And yeah, you can imagine if you're dropping most kills most time, those are definitely some stats that are hard to replicate. As we look at game number 2, Origin capture the flag. Definitely, as far as momentum and kills go, definitely hard to drop or get into the 40 kill mark on this one, though, Tony. With the way these two teams are playing and the way this game type goes sometimes, we may be looking at a quick one.
Yeah, I mean, Origin Capture the Flag is definitely a weird one, and one that, because it only goes to 3 flags, and honestly, the map is fairly small, very easy to manipulate spawns. We've seen some, like, crazy sub 3 minutes, maybe even like a 2-minute, 30-second game, and maybe we don't expect something like that, but, I mean, if a team gets hot, this could be over in like 4 or 5 minutes. It's crazy when you see teams really go off and really be coordinated on Origin Capture the Flag.
Ooh, Super CC had that sniper, was going for a play, but Uzi shuts him down, gets sniper, and almost gets away, but Tapping Buttons is on the hunt himself, gets double teamed though, and cleaned up. That turns sniper rifle over in the hands of Common, who's using it to try to contest these rockets, but he doesn't know. No one from ascending baseline's up there quite yet. Does turn his attention away over towards sniper once again, not able to connect on those first 2 shots. But it is rockets that they are very interested in here still.
I have a clip of this sniper for Common, but not able to exactly escape with it. Looks like there's a player that snuck in, stole a kill, and ultimately snuck out. It might have been Tapping Buttons, who gets a perfect onto Uzi as well. And Tapping Buttons is just putting down max damage onto everybody he sees. Finally, Little Gator shuts him down, but you still got to deal with Suspector and the rest of AB.
Little Gators is playing aggressive here, looking for a pull. They didn't catch the Spectre hiding back towards the base, though, and Zuzi now over towards the elbow does find a cleanup as 2 members are pushing him. Spreather gets the rockets, playing aggressive towards the window, but just great communication from ascending baseline and map positioning allows them to secure a few of these kills and completely shut rockets out of the equation.
Enemy flag returned.
all the way stretched out over towards your opponent's elbow is tapping buttons, and it's a position that ultimately demands respect. Your Legion Gaming want to favor that snipe side, but you can't ignore the elbow side completely. And Uzi willing to trade out his life in order to alleviate some of that pressure, but Suspector's already here for the pull. That was a momentary forward down for Legion Gaming. The first one to come off of spawns are trying to make it out, and Zuzi does end up over towards the maze side, but he gets detected. Can't stop the flag, ascending baseline, punching in the first one.
Ooh, lots of damage going out. They pick up 2 more. And it may be looking at a counter cap as Zuzi gets the flag and gets it out of the base immediately. Standing baseline did cap the first one, but they went 3 dead in doing so. And now Super CC, the only one in position to stop this one, does get cleaned up as well. And it is Legion Gaming to answer right back.
Bit of a counter cap coming in for Legion Gaming. Common want to stay alive with the rockets, not able to do so. You would imagine those rockets going to change hands and ascending baseline. Not going to be able to take advantage of that. And with new sniper coming up, we could see a lot of goodies start to find the hands of AB. Super CC with a full sniper and a spotlight on him. If he's able to hit some clutch shots, we could be seeing another flag being ran by ascending baseline.
It's like Ryan, who was the one to find those rockets, puts it to use there on to Zuzi, I think it was. But nonetheless, Super CC still has that sniper rifle. They go 2 dead, though. So nice defense here from Legion to try to slow this one down. Super CC can't find the shots, and Little Gators is going to get rewarded with the sniper.
Yeah, a little bit of unfortunate timing there, and Little Gators takes advantage of that. We see switching gears over towards Ryan Noob, who is finding some long-range shots onto Zuzi and just setting him up for Super CC to knock him down off his spawn. As back-to-back kills, though, go the way of Legion Gaming, we see yet another flag being pulled. Started, but not finished just yet. And in fact, the return is coming in, and actually that flag is still being fought over. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, tapping buttons would love to get the sniper out of their hands, and looks like they're able to do so.
Oh, they had to leave the base to try to go for that return, but he gets the pull. It was literally just barely not returned. I don't think there was any progression left there before that flag was actually touched, and that is going to be ascending baseline taking the lead once again. And now 2-1 as Legion Gaming. You're going to have to switch up how you play the rest of the game, because now you cannot overextend in any scenario. 1 cap left for AB here to tie up this series.
I just squealed so loud, I don't even think Discord even picked it up. Like, that was a crazy last second pull. Like I said, there was like no progression left, like no time whatsoever. And a 2-1 advantage now here for ascending baseline as we see yet another flag does end up being pulled and started. Tapping buttons with the fight over toward Little Gators. 3 down go Legion Gaming. Better watch out, tapping buttons is here, and he doesn't like missing shots.
That gets a couple of extra shots there to secure the kill on the players, pushing him out towards elbow. Zuzi is on the rocket bridge, gets cleaned up by Super CC, who's doing everything he can to try to extend his life here. Gets an extra shot down onto Little Gators, but ultimately falls as well. 6.5 left to play in this game. Little Gators doing what he can to try to push tapping buttons and crew back off towards sniper side of the map here, with the new one getting ready to spawn. It is Uzi who secured the rockets, but Legion Gaming, for the most part, not able to get anything out of the rockets here so far the times we've seen them get them. They did allow the map, or open up the map enough for a flag pull to happen here for Legion, and with another kill from the Twins each, they should keep this one moving as they look to tie up this game.
Yeah, Little Gators already having it toward the base, and just like that, we're tied up at 2 apiece. This next cap is going to determine our winner, and we'll find out if Legion Gaming will be going up 2-0 in the series, or will we be going to a swing game number 3 if ascending baseline are able to clutch out a few kills just like that. 3 down go each team, a momentary 1v1, and Uzi with the triple to stop that one.
And that might have been a triple kill to stop the game winning flag run there, Tony, as well. So just huge plays coming out of Uzi for Legion Gaming here. As they lock down Sniper Tower, they're not overextending to get this return. As a matter of fact, they picked up 2 fresh kills, make that 3 as the backsmack comes in. Last player's over here towards the cave. They don't even need to kill him to move the flag. does get cleaned up and melted by Tapping Buns with the Magnum there. Great job. But Tapping Buns is forced to try to make a play. The rest of Legion Gaming is already pushed up on the map, and they should be able to relay this one in. But the explosion and kill comes in, and oh my god, Ryan had, I think a triple kill would have been an overkill to actually stop and return and run the flag. But I think all 4 members of Legion Gaming touching that flag, maybe some people even more than once, Tony. They relay that like crazy. They even overthrow it initially, which might have come back to benefit them as the first spawner came off towards elbow and was actually closer to the flag then. Oh my god, that was insane.
Yeah, I think there was like a perfectly placed grenade that like killed him right before he capped. So like the momentum of him moving forward and then like dying, like the explosion from the grenade, like kind of blew that flag closer to elbow. And like you said, there might have been a spawner there that got closer to it, and that was just quite the ending of what has been an exciting game number 2, and also what's been exciting series right now. It's not the first time we've had Ascending Baseline and Legion Gaming here on the show, and the last time I think it went down to actually just one game between them. In fact, or 1 or 2 games between. We actually had Ryan Noob on for an interview after that, and he had nothing but nice things to say about Legion Gaming. So it seems like every time these 2 teams match up, the true winners really are us as the audience, because they really go to war.
Oh, they really do. They definitely, it always makes for super entertaining Halo when we watch these 2 teams duke it out, whether or not it's 2v2 or 4v4 action. We are always in store for a treat as we look at the next game. It is going to be our first Slayer of the day, Tony. Getting into a TS Solitude here. You know what I want to see come back?
What's that?
Was it Solitude King of the Hill?
Solitude King of the...
Or was it Strongholds? What was better? Didn't we have both at one point?
We definitely had both. I think King of the Hill might have been slightly better, even though that bottom mid hill was always interesting. Strongholds was... that was definitely interesting.
It was the best.
Solitude's a weird map. I mean, hey, we're bringing back a whole bunch of other stuff. We got Argyle back. We got we got Strongholds on the streets back. I believe. So we're seeing some craziness.
That's crazy because I played the other day for 2 hours and all I played was Fortress.
Did the Ascending Baseline just stick each other? That was kind of crazy right there. They're so hot. They might be taking each other out there. My gosh, 8-5 advantage for Ascending Baseline here, and that is quite the shock. Little Gators.
That great no scope there. Got players in front of him. Has a repulsor. Thinks he can play dirty, but Super CC sniffs him out, hits him with that repulse, and puts it in a position where the repulsor cannot affect that first grenade on the ground. Great job here by Ascending Baseline. Take Little Gators out of the play here. 6-13. Great opening start. The pace heavily favoring AB as they continue to move around the map.
Yeah, clearly Ascending Baseline not happy with the fact that Legion Gaming up 2-0 right now in the series, and Tapping Buns is shooting angry at the moment as one of the better long-range bandits in the entire league.
Yeah, they're spawning these players over here towards blue, getting some really good damage onto them. Nice job. Wisely backs down here, but somehow both draws the attention, takes the shots, lives, and gets the damage trades. Playing the S4 exactly how you want to see it from your teammates there, and that allows a 4 dead for Legion Gaming. And although they've taken the first 2 games, they find themselves down by 13, Tony. It's 20-7.
Yeah, this is crazy to see right now. I mean, Common just put his first kill on the board at the moment here. Everybody on Ascending Baseline is just firing right now. Tapping Buns 8-3. Ryan Noob is 5-1 with 6 assists as he just dies for the second time. Like, this is an insane game that you were seeing out of Ascending Baseline, but we're slowly starting to see Legion Gaming all the way back into it.
Good news is it's still early in the game, and they just put 3 dead for AB, so the momentum and the pace is going to completely flip as long as they don't allow anyone to spawn directly out behind them. Not only that, Shock is up as well. First kill comes in for the Camo player. Little Gators gets it as 4. They're trying to sniff him out, but they don't spot him. And sure enough, another kill comes in. That's going to be tapping buttons getting cleaned up also. Common gets the sniper rifle and starts answering back himself. Gets punched into the wall without repulsor, but I mean, nonetheless does die and lose that shock rifle. Legion starting to battle back, but will it be enough?
28 points, almost at a double-digit lead right now, close to it for sending baseline. Legion Gaming want to keep things close, especially as we start to approach that 40 kill mark, where you really want to make sure that you're kind of neck and neck at that point, tapping buttons. The one taking a whole lot of damage here, a little isolated over toward the back blue side, but as you start to see him call for the reinforcements, everybody getting aggressive here, and eventually his teammates there for the cleanup, and that's back to back to back to back kills for ascending baseline.
Am I crazy, or like every melee that I'm seeing, melee engagement, somebody's going flying? Is that... Have you seen that at all, or let's just pay attention to it as we go in case it is what's happening, because it's what it looks like. Everyone's got a repulsor, and they're repulsing each other. But I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Too much momentum. They're flying at each other.
Flying everywhere.
I'm gonna look for the next melee kill. I want to see this now.
It seems like they're going.
They're flying, and right now, ascending baseline, they're the ones that are in the lead. And Legion Gaming, I don't know if there's any breaks to this vehicle. They just can't. When things are going great, they're moving fast. When things are going bad, they're still moving fast.
Yeah, and I think we've reached a point of no return in this one, with only 9 to go here for AB. New camo's coming up, and this is Legion Gaming's only chance. They need to put 4 down and get the camo here to see if they can get back into this one. As we say that, Common comes out, they grab the first kill onto Super CC and completely take over sniper side of the map. Camo has spawned.
Common hears the shots, activates on it, but it's only going to get him a trade, and obviously there is no trade in the world that's going to get them closer to a comeback in this game. Ascending baseline, down 0-2 in the series, but not for long after the way things are going here on Solitude.
47-27, looking to close this one out. They just went 2 dead, though. The last 2 players in some engagements. Uzi finds himself 1 kill, trying to do what he can to stay alive. The player's no shields, but Suspector will find it with only 1 to go. Might even be a steak dinner that we're looking at here. Sure enough, we do see Common drop once again, although doesn't really matter at that point. This one was over a minute ago at least. And sure enough, we see Ascending Baseline put their first win on the board.
Ascending Baseline, definitely one of the teams that definitely want to play Slayers and Scrims. We saw that even last week. They wanted to play Slayers and Scrims versus Funk 4. And we're seeing a very good Slayer out of them here against Legion Gaming, 50-29. Went down 0-2 in the series. It really feels like kind of a must-win game for them, and they came out on top. 15 kills apiece out of tapping buttons and Suspector. You obviously love that. Everybody in the positives, and even when you look at Ryan and Super CC stats, you look at their kills and assists combined, you're like, hey, they had quite the hell of a game as well. Everybody really doing their part.
Oh, absolutely. Here, as you see, a 50-29 is, nothing to shake your head at. Definitely a big, solid, convincing win now to answer back as being down 0-2 in the series here, and to put that one up on the board. Will it be a shift in the momentum and in some of the confidence maybe we're seeing in some of how these games are going? So overall, pretty good job, I'd say. Can't be upset about that by any means. And as we look to get into the next one here, is Legion Gaming going to allow them to bring it back and tie up the series now? Or with Lattice King of the Hill, is this going to be back into their pace and back into a map that they're comfortable on to start building back up and try to close this out?
Yeah, it's obviously very early here, but I mean, we've seen the two objectives go the way of Legion Gaming and going into capture the King of the Hill, on Lattice, another objective game. The last thing you want to be is in a situation where you're only taking Slayers, considering there's only 2 out of the 13 of these games that we play at a maximum, which will be Slayers. So at some point, it feels like Ascending Baseline needs to get it done in an objective, and I guess no better time than the present. And again, tapping buttons from long range is a very fun treat to watch. He always wins his 1v1 battles from downrange.
Oh, definitely a force to be reckoned with here, as we see a great opening start for Ascending Baseline, picking up right where they left off. Put 4 dead, make that 5 as they, 6 as they grab themselves a couple more here. And some early progression in the hill was in a prime spot, but Uzi grabs himself a free kill with that back smack, was just hiding completely invisible there over towards Blue Cargo. Super CC, though, grabs himself a couple, and that's a 3 dead for Legion Gaming. Last player alive towards bottom middle does take early damage, and that's another cleanup. And some staggered deaths now here for Legion Gaming.
About halfway done with this hill already here for Ascending Baseline. Legion Gaming trying to get some ground here, trying to take some space, but it's tough to do. Ascending Baseline really are manning every part of the map, every single angle. Ascending Baseline seems to be watching it, and before you know it, Ascending Baseline, they're going to be done with hill number 1, and Legion Gaming, I don't know if they even have time to punt and move towards the next one here. That was a dominant hill number 1 out of Ascending Baseline.
Yeah, just over 30 seconds off the game clock here, and we already see that first hill being put in. Kind of looking like a stake hill if there is one to exist there. But overall, tapping buttons, he's still over here fighting towards hill. They should be getting the spawns, but Common sneaks in, grabs himself a kill without taking any damage, and gets some extra damage onto these players to force them over towards the ice side of the map. And Super CC with an early flank. They had no idea he was over here in red, and sure enough, Ascending Baseline scoring once again.
1-0 lead still here for Ascending Baseline. Would love to tie up this series after 4 games as we switch over to Common, and he's going to go up that high side, at least for now, waiting for his teammates to come off his spawn. And while you notice Legion Gaming are waiting, Ascending Baseline, they're still set up. They're the ones scoring here. So at this point in time, Legion Gaming, you need to get them out of the hill right here, right now. A lot of time has been wasted on this one, and be able to chase away 1, maybe 2, but not getting the kills is going to bite you.
Yeah, this one is very close to being scored once again. A lot of progression, a lot of time, a lot of perfect Halo going to be needing to be played by Legion Gaming to get back into this one. Zuzi does find an assist here to clean up yet another kill. They need to make sure no one spawns towards back red. You can see just kind of sitting there, keeping eyes on it, trying to shoot to just force that spawn to be blocked as best as possible. Common was really far up on the map. Out of position to grab at least 1 kill, but not able to find that one is going to put Legion in a tough spot as the push is coming and the players are falling.
Ascending Baseline with a little bit of a numbers advantage right now, and Suspector knows there's 1 more player over to where the backside finds him over on the back computers, and Common goes down. Means Ascending Baseline are scoring and should be able to finish this one out. I say should, but Uzi was 1v1 before getting the hill. Tapping button steals that second.
They were so close to getting into that one, Tony, and I think it still could have gone either way if they were able to just get a toe into that hill to stop it from being capped there. They had made a lot of progression over the course of that hill to try to get back into it, but now they find themselves down 0-2 with a little over 3.5 minutes, or just under 3.5 minutes left to play.
3 down, go Legion Gaming. Last person's going to be Uzi over toward Cargo. Ryan Noob sees it's a great time to just take space and play this hill and make sure he stays out of this crypto side. Meanwhile, I see a teammate start to posture over on elbow, and he steps out of the hill. I mean, he has a bullet in the sniper. Love to catch a flanking player like they just did on Zuzi.
Yeah, this is going to help on their push a lot here. It's a 3v3. Make that a 2v3 as we see a couple players go down here. Common and the rest of Legion Gaming hold control of A, at least for the moment. Suspector is the last player alive, found himself a kill, trying to do his best to trade out yet another one, but gets cleaned up here by Common. but it does allow Setting Baseline to push over towards Cargo. They keep getting members over here towards Blue to try to contest, but not going to be enough this time around. They're going to have to let their teammates respawn. It's only really going to have one strong push here on this hill.
Suspect over towards low ground. Nowhere to go here for Common. A little bit of a ascending baseline sandwich being created there. Meanwhile, Ryan Noob also next one to fall. 3 down though, go Legion Gaming. Uzi has to hop out of the hill just to try to stay alive. Has the repulse in order to assist him, but man, that is a whole lot of damage going in, and finally ends up hitting the respawn screen. Has he done enough for his team in order to get the advantage? Maybe not. Ascending baseline put him 3 down.
A couple good trades coming in, but you know, at the end of the day, if you're not able to break your way into Blue, you'll never be able to get those spawns and be able to reinforce the hill. With only 40 seconds to cap it, you know, not much you can do, not many opportunities. Now they do somehow find their way in, and getting 3 members in at that, I think Ascending Baseline maybe thought they had it a little bit early. And that might come back to bite them, because that is going to be Legion Gaming capping their first hill.
Still a 2-1 advantage here for Ascending Baseline. Just under 3 minutes on the clock, so plenty of time for anything to happen on both sides of things, as including Zuzi getting a hold of this sniper. Body shot immediately connects. Looks like the rest of Ascending Baseline now playing through that red side, which is exactly where Zuzi wants him. Tags up yet another with the S7, holding on to this red side tower. A player tries to slide in. He's not going to let that happen. Blocks 1 and almost 2 taps the second. Suspector just barely surviving.
Yeah, he's got that sniper rifle still to use now. 4 shots in the chamber. They have a 1-0 lead, or excuse me, a 2-1 lead, or 1 hill lead on this hill with just over 2.5 minutes, or 2:15 to play. Rhino trying to push in. They get some early damage and some kills. Has the QT to use. They put 2 dead once again, and we'll see if they want to play any time or if they're just trying to run the game clock down.
We do see them step in the hill. And we see Suspector just eyeing the spawns there, making sure that the cargo side is cleared out. But now the question now becomes, where's Legion Gaming's next spawn? And all the way over towards that mid-ice, it looks like. So that is a long route that Legion Gaming have to take to try to infiltrate the blue side of the map, especially when Suspector and crew are already watching it. Body shot connects. Not done just yet. Super CC on the flank takes down Uzi. Little Gators right back at Super CC, but Suspector doesn't have the shields in order to fight Little Gators. Finds the backside, but Little Gators on the cleanup. All this happens. Meanwhile, tapping buttons, scoring at about 75% done with what could be their 3rd hill.
They do know where Super CC is. He gets spotted out over here towards Blue. Common gets some good damage down on him, but isn't able to push this kill. Does get traded out by Uzi and puts Legion Gaming back in scoring position. I'd say this is almost a must-score hill for Legion once again with 1:40 left on the clock. If they find themselves down 3-1, that'll be a tough spot to come back from. They are capping with only 10 seconds left. This is the final chance from AB to jump in here and stop it.
Legion Gamer would love to steal this one away. Looks like they might literally do just that. Little Gators goes down, tapping buttons, and Ryan Noob, they take down 3 members of Legion Gaming by themselves. Super CC does the damage, and just when Legion Gaming were about to steal this hill away, it's Ascending Baseline back on the setup.
They needed 1 second in the hill to cap that, but Little Gators isn't going to be able to do anything off spawn, and sure enough, somehow Ascending Baseline gets this hill, and now they are up 3-1 with 1:30 left to play, and that is the danger we were just mentioning. How do you come back now in this one, down by 2 now, and after being so close to tying it up?
And ultimately with that hill in a little bit more of a central position, and then even moving over towards the mid-ice, I would imagine at this point, I don't see a world where Ascending Baseline decides to step foot in this hill. At this point in time, they might be playing like a little bit of an advanced Slayer right now, really a keep away from Legion Gaming out of the hill. So far, I haven't been able to successfully do that yet as Legion Gaming find the kills, find the hill, find a 3 down. Jeez, Common!
Yeah, that was gross. He actually does turn and hit the headshot. No scope there. On to Super CC to take him out. Should be a small chance for them to jump back into this one. They've gotten a lot of hill progression with just a little bit of time off the clock. But like we said, not a lot to work with, and ascending baseline definitely won't be putting their feet in the hill, especially at this point. Tapping Buns finds 3 with a disgusting shot. And sure enough, oh my goodness, that might be lights out. Little Gator spawns towards Red Tower, gets cleaned up, finds himself 1 kill, which is about all you could ask for in that position. And with the rest of the members here of Legion Gaming in red, they're getting shot like fish in a barrel. 52 seconds left. Not over yet, though, I will say, Tony. They get 1 more pick, and then that map opens up for them. They will have an opportunity.
Yeah, I think Legion Gaming has done a great job of taking a whole lot of time on this hill when keeping the neutral time relatively fairly low. Ever since then, though, ascending baseline turned 1 triple into some really good neutral time going down and continue to do the same thing as the Spectre puts another triple on the board. And I mean, look at the progression as far as this hill. This hill started at 1 minute and 30 seconds. Legion Gaming almost took it and left about 1 minute on the clock, but since then, it's been all ascending baseline.
So they 100 this hill, Tony. Telling me there's a chance.
I mean, there's a chance. Not impossible, but I would say improbable. I would say. I think. I mean, you're talking about 1 round of slays, and you're immediately out of it. It just takes too long to spawn up and push back up on the map. And once again, Legion Gaming find themselves 2 down and 3 down, and that should be all she wrote.
Yeah, with 3 down now, no way to battle out of this one. Spectre playing defense over there towards the hill. 2 seconds. Common couldn't get there if he wanted to. And sure enough, just like that, ascending baseline will take game number 4. Tie up the series 2-2 now.
Man, we saw it in the 2v2 action. We saw ascending baseline go up 2-0, and then eventually Legion Gaming bouncing back and doing 3 of their own in order to take the lead in that series and actually take the win eventually in the 2v2s. Well, a little bit of reverse that. Legion Gaming starting off 2-0. A nice little bounce back coming in from ascending baseline, which is funny because I feel like that's actually awfully similar to what happened the first time these 2 teams matched up. Because I remember correctly, Legion Gaming did start off hot, and eventually ascending baseline ended up winning it very close. So these 2, again, always putting on a show, and so is Tapping Buttons. 7,000 damage, only taking 6,200 in return. Everybody at about a 60% accuracy. It's year 5 of Halo Infinite. Ain't nobody missing, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, all these players are super hot right now. You can tell Common's no scope he had on the player over there towards blue, just pulling out 180 no scopes. The game, while the score reflects the 3-1, you can remember just how close some of those hills were, and it could have been, you know, absolutely a 3-1 in Legion's favor had things gone just a hair differently as well, or at least a 3-2, you know, once you consider that top mid hill. Now we look at live fire strongholds. This is one. Well, at least within the 2v2, we saw it pretty mixy and back and forth at times. You know, one thing to note is it was Legion Gaming who were just all over those camos in the 2v2s, and like Uzi in particular, able to just lock them down every step of the way. So will they be able to kind of keep that same focus here in these 4s and on that equipment?
Live Fire, definitely one of my favorite maps. I mean, obviously, we have a lot of maps that have the shock rifle in it, but love me some of that S7 sniper action. And when you think of Live Fire, think of probably one of the more punishing game modes. So obviously, the bread and butter is going to be the double cap, where you might see a lot of the scoring. But if you see a triple cap go down and you're able to spawn trap the enemy team over toward that camo side, or it can get real bad. It can really get real mixy, and that's where you really start to see the seconds really start to turn to minutes, is on the backs of a trip cap into a spawn trap. And once that happens, it could be lights out.
Oh, absolutely. We've seen it time and time again, just how punishing it can be if you don't play your life correctly when you're coming off spawn there. And even if you do play it correctly, sometimes it's just out of your control at that point. As we look at the live fire strongholds, one of the key game types, I'd say, of Halo Infinite, probably one of the best maps that we have, one of the most common ones you see for 1v1s, 2v2s, and 4v4s. And of course the variations, we got King of the Hill, Oddball, we've got Slayer, Strongholds, basically just the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I was trying to think about, like, if they were going to remake a map for Halo Infinite, you know, in the next multiplayer, even the one after that, like, I'm trying to think, like, what map would be obviously not Pit, you know, one that's been remade a few times already. I was thinking, I'm like, it had to be probably like Live Fire or Streets. I think Aquarius is too close to Midship. Might just remake a Midship or a Truth. I think Live Fire or Streets we could see remade in a future Halo.
Or
At least
Recharge,
I can
right?
see
It would have to be one of those three. As I say, those are like the three. You never played a series without one, if not two, of those kind of maps in it. For the entirety of Halo Infinite.
Live Fire about to come up next year. Strongholds, obviously, first to 250 points takes to win. Double cap, triple cap. Just don't be the one with one cap or zero. Otherwise, things will get heavily, obviously, not in your favor. And it's funny because I feel like, people always ask me, like, is an AB setup better than a CB setup? I was like, take whatever you can get. I'm like, whatever you can get, take it. Find kills and go for the trip cap. That's the best one. Whatever gets you to the trip cap faster is the best one.
No, absolutely agree, Tony. And as we see this game start off, some great no-scopes or quick scopes coming in here from Legion Gaming. They were able to get a couple of points on the board, but Zuzi does get taken out and lose that sniper rifle over here to Super CC, who grabbed himself 2 kills to open this one up as well. He does get cleaned up. Zuzi off of spawn gets the camo. Looks like 3 dead for ascending baseline, and it's going to be Legion Gaming who starts trying to pressure and start pushing a triple cap here.
Big damage coming in from Zuzi. Players trying to escape away from the nest side over toward the mud side, and the rest of his team is just there for the cleanups. Gotta love that. Everybody actively listed on the Legion Gaming roster leads to a squad wipe in favor of Legion Gaming.
Yeah, tapping buttons and crew wisely playing super secretive and defensively here. The players running through A don't even notice they're alive. And that's going to be the opportunity they need to break that setup. Like we talked about how you need to play in coming off spawn in some of these tough situations. Tapping buttons shows you exactly how. And just like that, they're able to stop the bleeding.
47 points here for Legion Gaming, but right now it's sending baseline, the one that is scoring, but also one that momentarily goes 3 down. Ryan wants to make a play to defend the alpha side and does literally just that. How is he alive right now?
Yeah, you could tell that player is probably wondering, what's this guy doing walking up and trying to clamber here? But it was a bait, as he's got repulsor and some plasmas and puts it to use to get that kill and ultimately cap that hill as well. And now we're seeing ascending baseline in position to get a triple cap. Little Gators is doing everything he can to try to run and live. Zuzi trades out or gets the kill there. And sure enough, now we're seeing Legion Gaming. They get towards A, able to stop the bleeding a little bit, but they're still down a man here on this push.
You see ascending baseline? Moving in for the trip cap, they're going to momentarily have it. Simultaneously, Legion Gaming playing for Bravo, but obviously it takes 2 to tango. Sending baseline already having the lead right now. Continue to hold on to an unorthodox Charlie versus Alpha, Charlie and Alpha setup there. Common gonna convert Charlie here for the Legion Gaming roster. Once again scoring, but still down by a bit. Ooh.
Camo goes over in the hands of Suspector here, and he wins that big 1v1 against Common. He had the plasma pistol, was trying to take it and make it an up-close battle. But great job by Suspector to walk away with that one. Might get rewarded with the new sniper here as well, and a couple additional kills. Last player alive is Common, but he will clean up the kill on the Camo player.
Fully loaded sniper. Super CC currently 7-5 right now. Couple assists to go along with it, and lining up Common, not able to connect with either one of those no scopes. Couple warning shots being fired before finally connecting on the body shot from Little Gators, who peeks over on the big door side, finds the kneecap of Uzi, and with that gets aggressive. Common still in his way right now. Sending baseline still scoring. They're not the ones who have to force the action.
Yeah, you can see now starting to double up on this lead that they have. Disgusting no-scope from Super CC onto Little Gators, who was up top tower trying to get a melee down. Not able to find the second one, but Ryan Noob and crew clean up a few kills here, but do go 3 dead. And as you can see, look at the progression here on these caps. They're getting all 3, not just for a moment, as the rest of Ascending Baseline spawning over here towards A. This is Legion's gaming opportunity to play defense, force a trap here now for AB. But as I say that, they start pushing out here towards B and grab themselves 2 quick kills. And that is not what Legion Gaming was hoping for.
Uzi with the fight onto Super CC, starting off Alpha here. Expecting to push going toward Big Door side. You know they just took Bravo, so you're expecting a more direct route straight over toward Big Door. It comes and it's gone as you see all of Legion Gaming just funneling through the B side of the map, finishing both Alpha and Bravo, and the only thing Ascending Baseline can do is convert Charlie to stop the bleeding.
Ooh, the insta, I don't think he was able to find any damage there, but a great attempt nonetheless. Uzi gets his shields back, is NB contesting it, but he's got a member of AB hunting him down here. Nice kill though, gets the kill and the reset there onto Ryanoob, keeps the triple cap from going down. But it is still a double cap though for Ascending Baseline and scoring position. The second kill comes in. They have players top tower and cuts. A missed melee is going to open up another kill for Uzi. Rets Ryanoob off spawn once again, but he does go down to Suspector.
Super CC able to get away with the camouflage. As of right now, just kind of navigating over toward the A side. Knows there's a lot going on over on Bravo and wants to get involved as quickly as possible. Even willing to sprint and curve slide despite having that camouflage. It's worth it. He gets into the action as quickly as possible. Starts Bravo, repositions, is putting down max damage. Is Super CC in the entirety of Ascending Baseline.
Yeah, big damage trades coming in here. Super CC doing a good job of dodging some grenades here. Quantum getting ready to spawn also. Perfect kill comes out from Super CC. That'll allow him to live and get QT here as well. And it's been just Ascending Baseline scoring for what seems like the last few minutes. Little Gators does find Sniper Rifle. Has some ammo left to work with, but he's in a tough spot here. If he gets spotted out, he may end up going down very early.
Almost 200 points here for Ascending Base. Jeez, what was that? Little Gators says, see you later. Not done just yet. No scope on the tapping buttons, but still 3 down go Legion Gaming and still Ascending Baseline the one scoring.
Yeah, Little Gator's not able to get anything going this game. He finds that headshot on the player on elbow, but that was only for his 4th kill here, as we see now Ascending Baseline starting to reach the final stretch of this game. Every time we see Legion Gaming get any kind of control, Ascending Baseline, they're just faster on the rotates. Hasn't really been a triple cap kind of game, but just steady and steadfast rotations here from Ascending Baseline and just making the right decisions at the right time.
Legion is scoring. Ryan was trading out his life over to the back green side of things. Suspector threads the needle in order to take down yet another one. And right now, both teams really trading out their lives right now. And Bravo looking to be traded out in favor of Legion Gaming. A big kill for Super CC and some extra damage on top because of that tapping buttons. Not only gets the kill, but gets camouflage as well. 19 kills for him, and it could be a lot more with active camo.
Yeah, but might not be too many more if we don't see Legion Gaming regain control and for a significant portion of time here, as it is Ascending Baseline still scoring and looking to close this one out. And like you said, with tapping buttons having camo, he can just jump in to see if they need him to, trying to spot out any players from Legion that might be hiding over this direction. I like this play though. Give the hill cap to somebody else. Allow tapping buttons to start pushing out, get an early jump here into B. He finds himself 1 as he's looking for the next 2 players who get melted. And with 4 down here, Tony, I think we're seeing Ascending Baseline come back with a little reverse sweep here of their own.
Yeah, I mean, both Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie find the ways of Ascending Baseline of Legion Gaming that are quickly starting to run out of time. It's a big kill coming out of Uzi, but all you were able to do is get Charlie. You never even stepped foot into another base because of that Ascending Baseline. Go 3 in a row to take the lead in your series.
Yeah, great overall play and great bounce back here from Ascending Baseline as we see them answer back to the first 2 with 3 of their own. And a very convincing Strongholds live fire game as you take a look at the stats. And just look at the kills and the assists there. 20, 20, 20, and 10 coming in from Ryan Noob. And you know Ryan Noob's in there barking orders, running around, just keeping that fast, always rotating mentality going here for this team. And it paid off dividends.
250 to 97, your final score line here. Over 5K damage from both Super CC and tapping buttons over on the winning side of things. In fact, one of them even getting close to the 6K club as well. So quite an impressive game. And so far, an impressive run, 3 in a row against Legion Gaming, have been ascending baseline right now. And I'm not sure they have any plans of turning it around. They've been fantastic. I think they kind of want to stay that way.
Yeah, I mean, whatever they're doing, they found the key to success at the moment. If it's not broken, don't fix it. At this point, we'll see how Legion Gaming is going to be able to answer back. If they've had a few to kind of look at now. Of course, one being that Slayer here, but can't feel too good about that live fire strongholds that we just saw. And with some of the other ones too, it has been more convincing victories now coming in for AB.
Going into yet another Slayer here on Recharge, and mind you, it's supposed to be the final Slayer of the series, a very important one. And last Slayer, I think, went the way of ascending baseline. Was like a 50 to 28, 29, I want to say it was. Ascending baseline looked very good in the last Slayer.
Yeah, as we see here, tapping buttons though gets the shock rifle, finds himself some kills. Gets the call outs. Now there's a player over here towards top gold. Tries to take the preemptive shot. Almost connects with it. But looking for a new angle. He's following up Ryan Noob's aggression. But the rotate from Legion, I think he may have found his way to some safety here. But as you can see, everyone peeking now. No cover coming in from the rest of Legion. Common, the last player alive. Top glass. Doing what he can to try to buy some time. So we can see another great start here now for AB.
Tapping buttons. Somehow it's yet to find a kill just yet, but still feels like he's been so efficient and effective on the map, putting down damage. Everybody seems to be weak because of him. Finally finds his first over toward the gold side. Meanwhile, Uzi flying into the action, curb slides his way into a fight against Super CC. We see little Gators giving him the comms. It looks like he wants to get reactivated and repositioned on the map. Legion Gaming only down by 1.
Now as they tie it up here, Yuzi looking for some additional kills. Listening to the callouts, as you can tell there. Gets some extra damage onto a third player, but he gets chased down here by Ryanu, who's on the hunt himself. And a 1v1 with Common. Common wins that as well. Pushing out, looking for some of these spawners here. Trying to cover Uzi as he starts pushing in. He's got 2 teammates over towards gold, but that's going to mean the push is probably a lot closer here than he might anticipate. We've got 2 more players towards top A looking to clean these up here. They do grab 1, but just like that, the game was tied. But now look at it, Tony.
It's a 22 to 15 advantage right now, especially after a big time double with Tapping Buttons and Suspector both hitting the respawn screen. Uzi finds 2 members coming off a spawn from ascending baseline over toward the bottom A, and Legion Gaming want to continue to put down damage and continue to make ascending baseline uncomfortable while simultaneously playing camouflage, which is exactly what Little Gators does.
It gets the camo and gets out, gets some nice damage onto Suspector, who doubles back, almost predicts what might be going on, but Gators reads the situation well, finds himself 2. And just like that, back to 7. It might be another triple kill. Sure enough, it is. Will they be able to spot out Suspector? Looks like the rest of ascending baseline should be coming off spawn over here towards A. We'll see how fast they're trying to push it as Uzi's flying in. He's got snipe. Finds himself 1, but then 2 drop. We'll see how they elect to play the rest of the situation here. Let's go into a listen in with Legion Gaming here as they look to close this one out.
Yeah, he's gonna come in. One shot on him in.
Yeah, I have mid.
He's
Come on, man.
going
Top
top
cross, top cross, 3 shot. Top cross, 3
Two of
shot.
them, 2 of them.
1 glass weak.
1 shot glass,
City.
boys.
Yeah, hit that.
Yeah, they might be hitting
Is
C.
that-
Nice, nice. I'm here in mid-bridge, Gabe.
There could be long, could be
Hitting
long,
top
guys,
A
could be
with
long.
shock, so hit him twice.
I'm here, Gabe.
See you guys, one more.
Wow, one shot tower, bro.
1 shot in A.
Do whatever.
One top, one shot.
Top A, cross, and white.
Code.
One C,
Batteries.
one C.
One's in white. Yo, can we,
Which it?
Pipes and batteries.
I'm coming glass, bro.
Stacks right now.
Man, I'm dead, bro.
Next
Long one shot.
Steep flat now.
Absolute glass, bro.
Two one shots long.
One's glass going bats.
Spawn
Bats the bat ledge. Nice kill, bro.
One bottom right.
I'm about to double back pipes here.
Yeah, one shot, half wall. Weak half wall. There's three half wall.
That's one gold. I'm trying to look needles.
There's two. Nice, bro.
Chris.
One shot
See
bottom
on me.
right.
See on me.
Absolutely
One shot bottom white. One shot bottom white.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's two.
I'm
You
cutting
want
to
to
see,
it. I'm cutting to you, Chris. I
Two
cut to
point two
you.
ish,
Yeah,
yeah.
C spawner.
Or top tower,
Two C
top tower,
spawners.
stairs.
Two C spawners.
C pots of blue. C pots of blue. One
They
shot.
killed me in two tower, bro.
Hey, shooting me.
And one sneaky looking at you, Gabe.
Mang. One shot.
I killed Mang. C plat.
plat.
C
You
stairs.
gotta
Gabe.
drop
C
it.
stairs 3 shot down. C stairs 3 shot down.
Live for camo, guys. Live for camo.
I'm dead to turbine. Turbine out.
One shot C plot, one shot C plot.
Head eye, head
One
eye.
shot C stairs also. C
C
stairs
stairs,
also.
C
stairs.
stairs.
I heard it. Head eye,
One
head
shot
eye, head
batteries.
eye.
Nice.
Nice.
Two dead. Two dead.
Yeah,
Who's
shock,
camo?
Get
Batteries.
shot. Get shot. Maybe bottom A.
Watch A.
He's in red with shock. In red with shock.
Two shot top right.
Yeah, one turbine.
Let
Turbine.
me play. Let me play. Let me play.
One shot needles. One
He's
shot
in
needles.
bats. Nice,
No
nice.
needles again.
One more.
Needles
Yeah, I'm
to
out mid
pipe
bridge.
door. Pipe door. One guy.
I needed it.
I'm here, Gabe.
Yeah, but
Playing
man,
it,
wait,
playing
man,
it.
wait.
Bottom tower, bottom
You
tower,
cut.
bottom tower.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
A,
there's two,
bottom A,
bottom
bottom
A.
A.
And needles. Needles.
No, bottom
My
bottom
A.
A, bottom tower, bottom tower, bottom tower.
Full comms, right?
Trying to go batteries. See you.
Needles out. Needles
Needles,
out.
needles.
Straight bottom, bottom.
Bottom A killed me. Bottom A killed me.
One shot bottom man.
Two bottom A weak.
And then
C
C
plot,
plat.
C
C
plot,
plat
C
shooting me.
plot.
C plat shooting me.
One's
that,
still
Chris.
in A.
Can't see
One's in
that.
A
Bottom
still.
A. I got
I'm gonna
that
go.
right now.
I'm going stacks. I'm going
Yeah,
stacks.
needles.
Most on the map.
But when as we come down to the very end of this game here, Ascending Baseline was bringing it back, making it look close. But will they have enough in the tank here? I think we're all tied up now, reaching the final few kills. Ascending Baseline doing an amazing job here, never giving up, keeping their heads in the game. The pushes towards gold, some great defense coming in from Legion Gaming. But it looks like they may be too focused. Tapping Buns flies in, gets one. The assist for another 47 to 48. Tony, they are doing it.
While you hyper focus on what's behind you, Tapping Buns with the flank finds the backside of that push, but somehow Legion Gaming go back to back, and now 49 to 48, just one more kill.
Yeah, they got to hit something out together here. The Shroud is in play. There's a bunch of people around C steps and bottom middle, and they're like, all those shields. Finally, the kill comes in, and Legion Gaming does it. It was getting scary there for a moment. They had a large lead that game, but it was Ascending Baseline battling back, making it close, and we were even tied at 46 before we see now another tied series as Legion Gaming answers back.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm actually surprised that Ascending Baseline lost that one. After the Tapping Buds flank and they went up by one kill, I thought that was kind of all they needed to do was just eventually just trade their way to the very end. But some way, somehow, Legion Gaming get right back into control in the clutch right there. And I think I even heard it when we were listening to the comms. So somebody mentioning full comms. And you notice that I feel like that's kind of what keeps Legion Gaming level-headed is I feel like even in the clutch, like I feel like they're very descriptive, very talkative in their comms, and whether it's small talk, positional, strategy based, it feels like no matter what the game state is, they're very involved in their communication.
Yeah, they definitely have some really good communication as a team. I think when that comeback was happening, you were seeing a little bit of comms that could have been improved upon or some better information, but ultimately they locked in and got the job done, especially when you find yourselves down or the first lead change of the game happening really around the 48 kill mark, which is crazy to think about, but still coming out strong and still staying focused there, like you said, being able to be that last battle in control and the way they were able to fight both targets, because you could see just how badly it can come or how it can happen with Tapping Buns flanks if people aren't kind of checking their backs and making sure certain angles are covered. And they did that perfectly right after that top control to grab a couple of those kills, and some of those could have gone either way as well. Those were some 1v1 pivs that were going down in control for a moment, it looked like. So great job by Legion Gaming to answer back and tie us up once again.
Yeah, 17 kills and a 9.0 KDA out of Uzi right there. And man, quite the performance, and it feels like in the Slayers he tends to go off, especially in this close matchups, 50-48 once again, and we see Uzi really kind of that leading man with not only keeping his debts extremely low, but also his kills extremely high. Briefly played by Legion Gaming. Based on our roadmap that we have here, it looks like we shouldn't see another Slayer so far in the series here. The rest of these games are supposed to be objectives going to the rest of it, but obviously things can change at any given notice. And also the way we're looking at is the goal is to get through 13 games, but we do have a hard stop at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, which is in less than 2 hours right now. So it feels like there's a chance we may not go to 13 games. So every game really does matter. As soon as a team gets a 2-game lead, at that point, that could be enough for them to kind of ride into getting into the money. Again, the Straight Rippin Pro Scrim night, putting a little bit of money on the line, has Straight Rippin, and also putting on this incredible show that we're seeing in front of you, highlighted by my yapping and Elamite's amazing insight on the game of Halo.
Yeah, and as we look into the next game as well, Tony, and like you said, a two-game lead at this point is going to be scary because now you're looking at 1 or 2 games to decide who walks away as the winner here. But 2 games up to this point hasn't been that much, as we've seen both teams take turns winning back-to-back several times on their way here. And as we look to see how Aquarius battles out, another key map to Halo Infinite and some of these series, one of the most just bandit-based arena-type maps that we have in Infinite.
And Camouflage, I didn't even see the fight happen for Camo, but Rhino already has it in hands, and you know as he was falling, he was spotted out. Interesting, but there was kind of nowhere for him to go without being spotted, so obviously Camo out of the equation. Legion Gaming already on their offensive.
Yeah, I'm sure Ryan wishes he could have that one back. Whatever he did to grab that camo, he had it within the first 15 to 20 seconds of the game and was already, across the map with it at the same time as well. But like you said, gets taken out, doesn't really get much accomplished with it. Just great eagle eyes from Legion Gaming. Spot out that camo and take it out.
Big win coming out of Suspector right there. Uzi does end up spotting him, but a couple of shots in there, and right now Suspector doing everything he can to stay alive while also being effective on the map. Even when weakened, he's still trying to put down that extra damage, find that angle that he can't be shot at, and as you see that radar go down, no information given just yet, but the lack of information lets him know that it seems like Legion Gaming might be behind them.
Let's grab 1 kill. It looks like Ascending Baseline elects to take their time, really make sure they can guarantee some of these kills before moving the flag. Both flags are still out. I don't even know how they haven't gotten returned yet at this point, but that very mixy situation here. Zuzi in a melee battle here with Super CC somehow lives, gets the flag touch again. We'll see if Legion Gaming can get the return or if their flag is going to continue to live here in a moment. But this has been a very mixy situation happening over here towards Carbine.
Flag returned.
2 members of Ascending Baseline surrounding the top car side of things. Little Gators does find himself over on the high side. Looks like they're going to find out the hard way. Now he has a teammate with them in Uzi, and they look to just force Suspector and Ascending Baseline out, but not able to do it. That flag looks like not only will it be returned, but another counter flag being ran by Super CC. Zuzi already in the base of Ascending Baseline, but with that kill comes the knowledge of his positioning, and maybe just too little, too late. That first flag cap belongs to Super CC and Ascending Baseline.
Yeah, but that's too dead for AB, as you have Legion Gaming looking for their counter cap opportunity or what they can find here. Definitely some great overall play from Ascending Baseline, though. They took out 5, 6 different members of Legion to move that flag, and it still got a little bit mixy there towards the end. Common going for a sneaky play over here towards the car. Does find himself 1, make that a double here, but does get cleaned up as there's 3, make it 4 as Super CC turns the corner with the flag.
Flag is on the move here. Uzi already finds a more direct route over toward the back base of ascending baseline. It's up to him to really try to make a play, and it starts with maybe getting killed here before he's even able to pull this flag off. Gets the back smack and the flag pull, and before ascending baseline are able to respond, that flag is returned, and another one is on the move for Legion Gaming.
Oh, and that was 4 dead for ascending baseline. Great overall play by Uzi. That was a high risk, high reward situation to play for the back smack on the flag carrier, as that could have easily gone in as well, but makes it perfect play and perfect angles to get one, but might even turn it into a double cap here as they are moving it once again.
Tapping Buttons has a perfect eye view on that flag, pulls and starts the flag for Legion Gaming, and gets a crazy grenade in order to clean up that player over towards the util side. And with all that action going down, it's a good time to try to play for the return and keep a flag alive. Tapping Buttons does go down, but think of the impact that he had on this play.
Yeah, he put his life on the line to get the flag out of the base and help secure that return. And we are looking at a 1-1 game. Slays are in favor of ascending baseline, but Legion Gaming is right here neck and neck with them. They're playing in front of the base. Tapping Buttons comes off spawn, gets the pull again on his own flag. And this one's moving across very quickly. Common's doing what he can to try to stop this flag cap. Throws a great grenade to take Tapping one shot. Cleans up 1 kill, but can't find the double here. Tapping Buttons gets his shields back, secures the cap. It's 4 dead for Legion Gaming. And you see yet another flag pull now by Ryan, who gets it out of the window, but then just wisely backs up to get his shields. And he's going to have a perfect flank opportunity.
Yeah, ascending baseline punched in the second flag, giving him a 2-1 lead, but still had Legion Gaming on like a timer where they were still 4 down, so they went for another pull. Things didn't go exact, they didn't have the exact time on their side, so obviously Legion Gaming break out, they get themselves a camouflage, but it's interesting. Capping a flag, you usually have to give up 1 or 2 lives in order to do so, but ascending baseline still had control of the numbers.
Yeah, and they have camo in front of the base. Uzi doing what he can to be a distraction and grab some kills here. Ryanoob does clean it up, but it does go 3 dead for AB, make it 4 momentarily. Devin new spawner already moving his way over towards the back of the base, and the flag has not been pulled, so there is or should be some opportunity to play some defense here. Wait for your teammates' help. We'll see how Legion elects to play this one.
Another fight going the way of ascending baseline here. Common wants to try to drive them back. The BR, a great tool to use against a one-shot player. Easy kill goes for him, but ends up being taken down. Now Tapping Buttons gets to do his best Pistola impression and try to just stay alive for as long as possible. And I'm surprised he's even getting his shields back right now. And once he does, serving up hot fires, but it looks like... No, they don't know. They don't know.
That almost turned crazy if he was able to backsmack one of those players. I mean, it was a great decision to not shoot. Waited as long as he could, but ultimately the double team does take him out. But it bought enough time that a collapse can come in from AB, and some of these kills can get cleaned up once again. 5.5 minutes left to play. Ryanoob had thrust, but can't find the 1v1 piv here. Little Gators in the base, but can't also get the kill. We'll see how Tapping Buttons, coming off defense, gets another perfect kill. Just been out shooting everybody he runs into. And as they push up on the map once again.
Little denial grenades going down already here, denying access from the utility side, but looks like nobody from Legion Gaming are even here. Maybe favoring the P side a little bit more than what you would expect. Finally, he found a player sneaking over toward the flag side. The Suspector is willing to trade out his life to go up against him. Common chasing a player away from the top mid side, not able to get the kill, and in fact, not able to stop this flag, not able to do much, as Tapping Buttons put in another flag cap, a 3-1 advantage right as camouflage is coming up.
Oh, nice trade from Ryanoob as well, but that's 3 dead for ascending baseline, and like you said, with camo spawning here just now, we'll see if Legion can get the flag out of the base. The Spectre wins a huge 1v1 battle there. Sure enough, buys a lot of time and keeps Legion Gaming from being able to progress up on the map here. Little Gators has the camo. They've got 2 dead. They know where at least one of these last 2 players are remaining. As he gets cleaned up, they're going to start to try to look for another pull here. With 4 minutes left and being down by 2 caps, they're definitely going to have to start increasing the speed here.
Camouflage in his hands right now. And Legion Gaming need every last bit of it. They need him to make a play with it. And a flag is started here. Not sure if it's exactly the one that they want, because it's actually tapping buttons and ascending baseline. It's already pushed that flag over toward the 50% portion of the map here. Little Gators doesn't have any more camo to work with, but does have some team push or team damage over toward the back fridge side. Zuzi starting that flag through the util side of the map. Not able to play for the return, but don't worry, his teammate got it. Little Gators is here. Can they push this flag cap in? Ryan with ascending baseline are already present. No way.
Enemy flag returned. Flag.
4-1 now still. Looking to close it out, just over 2 minutes left to play. And it's looking like that might be the fork. Time to stick the fork in them because they may be looking done here, Tony. Last one, or trying to get back into it. I mean, I guess it's been done in history. We've seen it before. But aren't we going to be able to see it now? I feel like we've seen some soccer games here recently where we wish maybe with just a few minutes left you can get back into it, but it starts with 1, and we are seeing them put that 1 in, but it is going to be perfect Halo from here on out, and with this camo spawning now, this is going to be a must-grab for Legion.
It really does feel that way here as Zuzi over towards the util side. Some big shots onto everybody, whether it's the player over in the back base or even Super CC from across the P side. Everybody getting to feel the bandit of Zuzi, but eventually it's still tapping buttons and ascending baseline to get away with the camouflage. If tapping buttons gets his shields back, right now Legion Gaming have no idea where he's gone. This is going to be really tough for them to cap a flag when tapping buttons has camo.
Oh, and he doesn't get the melee. Tapping buttons finds himself 1 kill. He does get called out, but with 4 dead from Legion Gaming and that flag out, looks like they are not waiting for time. They are looking to end this one early. Sure enough, Super CC punches that one in, and ascending baseline going to be the first one to break the tie.
That they are 4-3 advantage here for AB after Aquarius, excuse me. Almost said aquarium, Aquarius, and just big work. I mean, 5-2 advantage right there. And obviously, that's a comfortable win that goes the way of ascending baseline. And in the early series, it seemed like the objectives were tending to get away from them, but now looking very efficient. And the question for me now becomes is, do you keep that same energy going on for the rest of the series? We talked about how impactful a 2 or a 3 game lead can be when going into these scrims. There's money on the line right now, and it seems like AB won it.
Yeah, they definitely won it here. As you take a look at the damage, solid overall damage. It's been one of the cool things to see is how even it's been for the teams, I think, both in a lot of these games as well as a lot of the stats in regards to damage, accuracy, things like that. Seen a constant back and forth here, both in the series score, the games themselves, the lead changes. As we look at King of the Hill vacancy, this is going to be another tough one, I think, or a hard-fought battle, I think, for both teams to see who comes away ahead.
Vacancy, King of the Hill, and I keep saying it, no matter how you feel about this map, I will say I think we all could agree that King of the Hill is probably the best game type for it. When it goes to that bottom mid side, I don't know if everybody likes that bottom mid hill. I do. It's absolutely psychotic down there. From that bottom mid hill is so tough to break, and when you do, it feels so earned. I will say, out of all of the game modes on this very, very punishing map, the King of the Hill might be my favorite on it.
I mean, I think it should just go top mid, bottom mid, top mid, bottom mid, top mid, bottom mid, turn it all the way till the end of the game. It's these side hills that are just ridiculous. Just get them out. Just top mid, bottom mid, top mid, bottom mid, all the way down to the end.
That's toxic right there. That right there is toxic, as the hill does start top mid and will not go bottom mid after this one. It will promptly go towards the yellow side of the map, I promise y'all. And right now, Legion Gaming look like they're going to be going over to that yellow side hill with the 1-0 lead because they already have half of the hill progression. Meanwhile, Sunny Baseline haven't been able to step foot in it and honestly haven't been able to put much pressure on the hill guy. Chris Common, though, not able to find the double that he really wanted, but look at the hill time. It's done.
14 seconds, Sonny. 14 seconds off the clock, and we're seeing Legion Gaming answer in a big way. You can tell they're not happy about the way that last game went. Coming out in this one very strong. Zuzi with the sniper rifle, trying to spot out any players moving around bottom middle. Does find one with a perfect reversal headshot. Another player right above him. Snaps onto him, but doesn't pull the trigger. Does pick up a trade as he elects to push. It leads us into a 1v1, but Suspector, that's a spawner across the map, and going to be some more unanswered hill time now for Legion.
See, Suspector starting to move in position. The same actually for tapping buttons. Well, the same was for tapping buttons until Little Gators gets his hands on him. Little Gators not done just yet. Still has full shield, still has a shock, and is ready to fight. A player did sneak by him and now has the shroud to kind of navigate through. And because of that, ends up getting the best of Little Gators, gets his shock out of his hands, but doesn't really stop Legion Gaming from, again, 80-90% of this hill. Sending baseline, need to start getting them out of these hills a whole lot quicker.
All right, they do pick up one of the much-needed kills here, but Little Gators picks up the trade from across the map. Make that 2 as we're back into 2v2. Little Gators is battling them out of a tough situation with a triple kill. Would have been an overkill if he was able to secure it as he gets an assist and lives. A couple members of Ascending Baseline spawning over here towards back elbow. But is that going to be enough as they're just getting collapsed on and this hill is already capped?
So close. And at this point, it looks like Zuzi actually maybe could have made a play towards that hill to close it out. It looks like maybe just trying to drain a little bit of time off the clock there. Eventually, they are able to score it, and now a 2-0 start as Zuzi gets himself a sidekick in the back pocket. And now his Common, who's already pushing up over towards the blue, Common gets caught, but Zuzi's still here.
Yeah, you can see, I mean, it was really a Legion Gaming. They just didn't want to push on that new hill until they had a better opportunity. They knew they had the base hill already capped. Pretty much nothing Ascending Baseline could do. And they had just time to work with there. As now we see in the third hill, it was only a little bit of progression that Ascending Baseline was able to accumulate, even though the hill flipped to the other side of the map. They are back in the hill scoring once again, and Zuzi's the last player alive here for a moment, or was for a moment. Does get some good damage down, but not enough to trade. Hides in a sneaky spot. The tapping doesn't spot him, and a trade comes in. Nice heads-up play by Zuzi.
On board now with Common. As I say, he knows the player across the map, but was he aware the player that was actually right in front of him? And he found out the hard way there. A lot of time being accumulated, though, by Ascending Baseline. So all those starting off 0-2, obviously, at the end, 0-2, you can make a comeback, and that's exactly what we're seeing Ascending Baseline do right now.
And 13 kills from Zuzi. He's having himself a terrific game right now, and he's got shock rifle and a lot of ammo to work with still. Trying to connect on some of these headshots, has 2 players in front of him, gets a little bit of damage down onto both, but that's a triple kill for tapping buttons and gets rewarded with the new shock rifle. This should allow them to continue this aggression and maybe even slay Legion out here for the next round of spawns.
Only down by 1 at the moment here, Ascending Baseline kind of right back into it and already starting off early over towards the hill, but are eventually forced out by Legion Gaming. Ryan Noob does have that shock in hands, and it looks like not able to exactly connect on it, but teammate trades out his life, and Ryan Noob is Ascending Baseline trying to find out where the next point of attack is going to be over on the red side.
They got 2 players here hiding towards back of the base as the push is coming in with Ryan Noob and crew. Little Gators trades out 1 in the kill feed there. 2 players, no shields there, like to play front of the base. They don't spot him out for a minute, and Ryan, who plays it perfectly with the thrust to get his shields back. With the players coming off spawn here, he does get cleaned up. That's going to be a good position for Legion Gaming to try to play some defense and hold off this pressure. Gators should find another kill here.
Finds
Gets
that
one.
first kill. Little extra damage onto the second one, tapping buttons down to half shields before ultimately getting them recharged. And now there's a lot of responsibility on his hands. He's over towards the red side tower. There's eventually going to be 3, if not 4 players starting to surround him right now. And he gets overwhelmed. Zuzi with the kill. And now Legion Gaming starts to widen their influence on the map, attacking from multiple different directions here. But it's sending baseline somehow ready for it. And it's Legion Gaming the ones that go 3 down.
Score.
Yeah, 3 down once again here. You can see in the kill feed, Zuzi 16 and 8, still pushing really hard here on the overall slay column. But Spectre and tapping buttons getting back into this one with 12 and 14 apiece as they tie up this game.
Oh, what a nade by Common. And what a trade. Big double out of him, but it's sending baseline still able to tie things up as we go into the dreaded bottom mid hill of death. 3 down, go with sending baseline. Legion Gaming starting to move into their full setup.
And the bottom mid hill of death with 2 minutes left on the clock. It is going to be Legion Gaming, the first one starting to strike blood here as they reach the 50% mark in this hill. There are 3 members playing defense, and you got a couple of them pushing out, looking to see if they can find any kind of angles or any players off on their own. One gets traded out. Some good grenades though with defense here, and a sniper rifle in the hill are getting some damage down. Suspector breaks into the hill though, doesn't take any damage, finds 2 kills, and now we're seeing what ascending baseline can do.
So close to closing out what could have been a 3rd hill, a swing hill number 5 here for Legion Gaming. Now ascending baseline have a full setup over toward that bottom mid side. 1 break is all it takes for Legion Gaming, but easier said than done as they continue to be staggered 3 down. Somehow Little Gator sneaks through, sneaks in the hill, and ascending baseline about to be kicking themselves because nobody's there. They just stole that one away.
Yeah, nobody in close enough position to help out Suspector on those players that broke into bottom middle. With a couple of members of AB getting cleaned up, it's Legion Gaming to cap and take the lead again with 2 minutes left to play. That's a lot of time left here, so I think we're going to see it go all the way to 4 caps regardless. But this is definitely going to be a mixy one again. And like we said, Tony, from bottom middle to top mid, it should just go bottom middle again after this.
I was going to say, though, the good thing for sending baseline is that this has been so action-packed and both these teams have been so objective efficient. A lot of times it goes towards this top mid-hill and one team is playing time. That's not the case in this. Like you said, this is most likely going to go 2-4 hills out of one of these squads, which kind of benefits sending baseline as they have time to fight for this hill properly and maybe try to win and tie things up.
Yeah, but with all these hills, you know, it's over before you blink sometimes if you don't take your opportunities and use them to the fullest extent here. This hill is 75% of the way capped, which means this is the last push, and Super CC is the first one to drop. Wouldn't be surprised if this one's over now, Tony.
Well, I just want to point out, I said they had the chance to fight for it. I didn't say they would win it. Let the record show. I mean, they still had to fight Legion Gaming, who, by the way, firing on all cylinders right now, and earned that 4-2 advantage. Beautifully played by Legion Gaming.
Yeah, 4-2 win to tie up the series at 4 apiece. As we're over halfway through the series and we're coming into the final stretch of games. Still pretty close here between the squads. It's going to be the next 2 to 3 games apiece here for whoever wins them or being able to win the first 2 to 3 games. That'll determine who takes this one. Overall stats, though, take a look at Zuzi, 26 and 11 with a lot of assists as well. Overall teamwork and assists and slays just heavily going in favor of Legion. Considering how close that 3rd hill was as well, if anything, the efficiency probably being a little bit more in favor of sending baseline based on how heavily they just got outslayed.
It's one of those games you got a screenshot and like use as motivation, you know? Man, that is quite the game that we saw out of Zuzi. I think it was a 17.7 KDA. You see the damage dealt right now, almost 6,000 damage dealt versus taking less than 4,200 damage taken. Like, That is a wide gap. We're talking about, especially when we talk about an aggressive player like Zuzi, who's always willing to take advantage of the opportunities that are presented to him. So, really impressive stuff out of Zuzi and all of Legion Gaming that matchup.
Yeah, definitely solid gameplay to tie up this series, answer back after a tough loss as they look to extend, and we find out who has enough left in the tank to come away with the win here. Even look at the shots hit, even shots fired as well. Was it more? It might have been more shots fired for sending baseline, but there's overall accuracy too strong here for the Legion Gaming squad. Everyone above 60%, shooting extremely well. And our call out assists, the real play, Tony? 8 from Common.
I mean, if you have your ping set up on a paddle, it's like, hey, we gotta spam it a little bit there. I would say, like, I'm trying to think who. Like, I know Snakebite's a big pinger. Snakebite is a big pinger. I on my old controller, I had ping set up on one of my paddles. On this one, I don't. I have it as the I have it as the analog, one of the analog buttons. So it's a little bit harder for me to ping now.
Ping can be important. Both, especially if you're not in there in the comms going hard. What else do you have besides the pings at time? This light is a little bit brighter than I thought it was going to be, so let me turn that a little bit. But overall, like, that was a hard-fought game. Like we said, how is this one going to compare to some of the ones we just saw before that? And sure enough, they are battling out and right there in it, and we'll see who comes away with the win.
Well, after all the games that we've seen so far, I think these players deserve a little bit of a break. So actually, why don't we go on a quick 5-minute break here? Let these players have a little bit of a breather. We have plenty more Halo action ahead of you guys here in your your straight up pro scrim night. While we're gone, though, I mean, hey, take this time out. Make sure you guys drop all of the subs that you want and whatnot. Make sure you drop some hype in the chat, the follows, all that good stuff. Obviously, shout out to you guys in chat. Shout out to everybody who's watch partying. It's been a fantastic show so far. And don't go anywhere because we have plenty more.
Again in your smoke when I breathe you in, I'm breaking down, I'm spinning out. Yeah, I've been staring at the ceiling, on the floor, so cold I'm shivering. The way that you leave and then come back for me. Lord knows I can't get you over my mind. Knock me down low, then you get me so high. Get me so high. So slow you crept up to go
All right, a bit of a short break here. It was well deserved for the players, and what's actually crazier is that the players want to get it back to the action so much they confuse 5 minutes with 5 seconds. They're actually in the game right now. They're actually duking it out in an oddball, going at it, and so far 47-10 advantage here for ascending baseline. Hey, you know what? When you're ready to play some Halo, you're ready to play.
Halfway to victory.
You can't put the brakes on a train that has left the station, Tony. And this train has left already, as we see 60, almost 60 points here now for ascending baseline. The ball still scoring now. 11 kills out of Super CC.
Ball dropped.
And overall, looks like it's just a great overall start for ascending baseline.
Ball dropped.
Almost 70 points here. Whoa!
Wow,
He's got a
and he
little
gets
scary.
sniper off the map.
Ball and snipe off the map here, and looks like Little Gator is actually feeling confident enough to actually go in for another pull, but wasn't accounting for Ryan Noob ascending baseline to already be bottom mid.
All 4 members here, though. This is quite the push. I mean, they can almost go any way they want. Without at least 2 members, they're not going to be able to stop a 4-man push. Couple drop, and now they have ball in A. Had a couple members of Legion Gaming rotate around towards C, thinking they were going to get a flank in, but it came in just way too late.
Enemy has the ball. Enemy has the ball.
Oh, finds him hiding there.
The ball.
Tapping buttons, nothing escapes him here. Great nade right into the pocket of Ryan Noob. Zuzi, who had a crazy game, game number 8. Now going into game 9 here, kind of just as hot.
Very nice trade comes in. 3 dead for Legion. Ascending baseline, looking to get the ball and get it out once again with 91 points on the board. Might be looking like a very quick round number 1 here. Tapping buttons, grabs a kill and survives. 3 dead once again. Common, last player alive, gets in, trying to get into position to stop the ball, but can't do so. And that's going to be round number 1 here, going over to AB.
That it is. Gotta love that coming out of ascending baseline. When the series is tied up, it seems like that's when they play their best Halo. Round 1 firmly belongs to them, but this is why we switch sides. You know, no complaints that, oh, they had the better side. Well, now Legion Gaming have a chance to fight on the tower side of things. And you know what? I actually know with how good ascending baseline looked, I actually would love to go in with a little bit of a listening here. Why don't we hop into the comms of ascending baseline fresh off of that round 1 win?
Pillars, maybe?
Yeah, drop to me.
Got one.
Nice,
Nice. Look, camo.
I died at the same time.
I got
It's front green, new pillars, and mud. One mud.
Tower,
Two-
tower,
two-
tower,
two-
close. Watch out.
That was sniped.
Dummy door,
Snipe
dummy door,
elbow.
dummy guy. Last guy, dummy door came ball. It's ball.
Snipe's down elbow.
Yeah,
Ball is going cuts, he's getting QT. He QT'd. He QT'd red board. He should spawn small window.
Key.
I spawn nest.
Watch out right, comment. Absolute. I got him.
He's nest with
Baiting
quantum,
QT,
and
baiting.
then one's big. Yep.
Yep.
Out of quantum, I bet.
Enemy has the ball.
Yeah.
He's top cuts right now.
Yeah.
Coming down cuts.
Cuts on me.
On camo.
I just
On camo's in. And key door.
Come on. I heard it.
Absolute
Trying to
dead.
get to you guys.
Come on.
Play weak.
Nice, good damage. Nice one.
Nice.
Camo.
Camo one shot. Oh!
Bro, no shot. He's on the screen, jumping up. TBSA, watch out. A play right now, guys. Going in A with snipe.
Yeah, I think he's going big door.
Watching the dice flying right now.
And jail. One shot, key door.
Come at weak. Come at 2 shots.
Should get one.
Nice.
Just
Nice. Come at dice. Don't use it.
Coming Uzi, or Uzi, I mean, 2 top mid.
Ball gets smoked.
Yeah, two bottom mid. I'm chasing. Back A and Peter.
Got one.
Nice. One more. Right, probably.
Key door, 2 shots.
Soki, yeah.
Ghidorah will die. One's window too, he was window.
Okay,
Nice,
yeah.
left.
And even the professionals get confused between the Uzi and Zuzi twins. You heard the one shot Zuzi. I mean Uzi. it sometimes gets me tripped up as well. Don't worry, AB. I'm right there with you as ascending baseline. Off of that round 1 win, look pretty confident right now, down by a bit against Legion Gaming. But I feel like 10 points ain't much in oddball.
Yeah, nothing to get worried about here yet at this point. I'd say, though, the funniest thing about those comms, Sony, I don't know if you heard Rhinoob and someone else laughing. I think Zuzi no-scoped somebody really hard. And I was Rhinoob laughing at his teammate getting no-scoped, which makes it all the more funny. And then his teammate had said, no way. But I think it came off like he picking up the sniper and getting like a no-shields, no-scope on somebody's sandbags there.
Enemy has the ball.
Hey, sometimes you gotta laugh it off, and and I feel like breaks the tension. Definitely have to think twice about it. It's like, hey, look, it happens, and you move on. Honestly, a little laugh like that could just kind of change the mental, or even keep it. Honestly, if you really think about it.
Yeah, I mean, you have two choices: either to get mad about it or to laugh about it, and it's much safer just to get mad, just to laugh about it. Although it's fun to get mad about it at times, I suppose. But yeah, going with the safe option, keep the team locked in, and not let something like a no scope change the course of the game either. And you can see these teams are still locked in, and ascending baseline not letting that affect them whatsoever here, as their comms are clear. They're on a mission to get this win and maintaining the lead here in round number 2.
I feel like one player that was like really, really good at doing that and would always do it at the most important times was Lethal. I feel like a lot of times if things got like kind of stressed out, they started arguing and whatnot, like Lethal would just crack some random joke that nobody would expect, and it just alleviated a lot of the tension. I feel like Lethal was very good at doing that. Miss him in the competitive scene. Jeez, miss him, but we do have Super CC.
Yeah, definitely miss Lethal for sure, and he is one of the GOATs, especially in comms, or especially maintaining a solid baseline, just not letting anything affect him here, and making sure his teammates stay locked in, like you said there. But now we see 3 dead for ascending baseline. This is Legion's Gaming's time to get back into this game. They need to get this ball out of Rat Tunnel, which they will do successfully here. But now all 4 members of ascending baseline are back up, 2 coming B-side. Good damage trades coming out, though. They may be able to slow this one down, but as you can see in the kill feed, Ryan finds himself 1. Zuzi's committing to this fight, but he's getting double teamed here now. Not able to find anything.
56-32 right now is the score line. Sending baseline, having a small advantage, but also having the ball in a setup here. It's up to Legion Gaming to find a way to break through this defensive hold right now that ascending baseline have. We switch over to Common, who takes a direct route from the top mid over toward the A side, but as he gets caught tapping buttons, takes him down. Zuzi going in for a challenge, a weakened Super CC evades, somehow still wins that one out, and now the final player alive here for Legion Gaming is Little Gators, and he's trying to find Ryan. Well, Ryan done found you. Oh no, man.
Not just you, but the other guy too, apparently, as he picks up a double, make that 3 now, as you see Legion Gaming falling here, and this is their last opportunity to push. We're about to hit the 80-point mark. Ryan gets taken out by Common. Nice double melee there towards top center. But will he have bought enough time for his teammate to secure this one? Tapping finds himself a kill. That's going to hurt the push here from Legion, as Common may be getting flanked at the same time as he's trying to push forward here. Super CC has the ball. It's a couple extra points. He's 2 members in front of him. Probably won't be able to do much. Can't get the stick either. That's going to be 2 down for Legion of Gaming once again, and the members pretty far away from ball on the push.
Ryan has just been consistently just making plays that just turn back the hands of time, man. It's actually crazy what we've seen him been able to do at a ripe but young 33 years old. Actually insane, and so was his entire sending baseline roster in order to close that one out. I mean, Super CC ended the ball with hands, and I think he also ended with 30 kills to his name as well. We saw what he was able to do with the sniper. It's impressive. Ascending baseline, and ascending baseline, what's kind of even more scary about them is that it feels like they're a team that somehow gets better on land. Like we saw what they were able to do leading up into DreamHack Atlanta, then we saw what they were able to do at DreamHack Atlanta. Like it was somehow they hit another gear, and obviously much different, 2v2s versus 4v4s. But I don't know if Ryan Noob and Suspector were one of the favorites, to even win a series going into that 2v2 land, and they won multiple. Like it feels like when they get to land, that's when you see the best ascending baseline that you're ever going to see.
I mean, that's a really good team because it's comprised of 4 really good players, like go figure, right? It's actually a team I considered coaching at one point. I actually talked to them about it a couple times leading up to Atlanta, and then obviously things changed and spiraled and flipped like 17 times. and we ended up playing them there as well. So you know, just made it that much more, that many more elements to it. But a team of 4 really smart, really good players. So obviously not a team you can sleep on by any means. And I think they're showing it that they're clicking very well tonight, especially on all these games that they're actually coming away with the wins. A lot of them are pretty convincing.
And maybe we see another convincing win here at Empyrean capture the flag. Definitely not an easy one, but when you look at you know, who has the most experience on the map, you know, I mean, Ryan, who has seen every iteration of this map across multiple different games here. So Empyrean, the Pit remake, and Suspector, he's no stranger to the Pit.
Absolutely is it here. And Uzi, as he takes 2 shots in the back with that OS and a 3rd one in the Achilles, he'll go down. Rockets, we'll see what happens here in a moment. Ryan Noob has sniper as well, so that's both snipers going over to sending baseline to open this one up. Zuzi's the only one to grab a kill here quite so far. And just like that, we've got 3 dead. Once again, Little Gators, last player alive, over towards Mauler. May be able to slow this one down, but with the repulsor also being in the hands of AB, it's going to be very difficult to do.
You know, I just randomly thought about when talking about the experience on this map here. Like we you know, made the joke that obviously Ryan Noob has a ton of experience on it. Like Uzi and Zuzi, they might have been born in like 03, 04 most likely. Like they were probably 3 years old when Halo 3 came out.
So like, it sounds like an advantage. It's because it's all they know.
Like, just so
they don't even have
old
anything prior to the Pit.
I feel so old thinking about that, though.
No, it's actually terrible. Like, so terrible. Did I tell you, like, my worst moment for, like, oh god, I'm so old? My worst, like, gaming moment, I'm so old, it was, one of my neighbors in California has a kid, and his kid like comes to visit or something, and he wants me to meet him because he knows I'm into gaming, and his kid's a big gamer. So I go out to meet this guy and his kid, or I already know the guy. I go out to meet his kid, who's like, I don't know, 6 or something, and he's very shy and not talking all that much. So I'm trying to communicate with him and just, you know, make sure he has a good experience. And I have a Halo Master Chief shirt on. And he looks at the Halo Master Chief shirt, and he's barely said a word to me this whole time, and he goes, that's the guy in Fortnite.
Yes! Yes!
Yep. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Because I know that Master Chief is now in Fortnite. It was like right when he came out in it. So yeah, no, that happened.
That is actually crazy. Well, Uzi right now cosplaying as the man from Fortnite, rockets in hand, and we're gonna see what he can do with it, using that flag as a bit of bait right now. The long-range rocket doesn't find a home, but he still has one more to work with. He finds himself on one side of the map fighting a group of players, and now on the other side you have Ryan Noob with overshield that you have to deal with over in your back base.
Oh, and a great use of the grenades there. Grabs himself a kill. He has the flag already out of the base. Gets his shields back while he starts running it. Which is going to make it that much harder to stop as another player flies over his shoulder with sniper out, trying to delay as much as possible. Flag moves. Zuzi grabs himself a kill and slows it down though, but does get sniped in the back by tapping buttons, who can't find the double, but does help out enough to make sure Ascending Baseline takes the lead 1-0.
And 2 snipers, though, in the hands of Legion Gaming, so if there's any chance of you being able to bounce back quickly and be able to cap some of these flags, it has to be on the backs of 2 S7 snipers that are in your hands right now as you tapping buttons over on the tower side, responding to a call out, and Super CC eventually gets dealt with, and that flag has to be moving, but mind you, tapping buttons actually just snuck through the needle pit.
He's trying to move this flag, has sniper as well, can't find the shot that he's looking for quite yet. Doing what he can to try to delay. Great job by Suspector though, does peek and get that kill. That's going to stop any hope of a flag push on this one, as there's only 2 members of Legion left alive, and Ryan Noob might be in position to clean up one of them.
Flag returned.
Rhinoob does enough damage in order to allow Super CC to come in, little remote detonation action, and steals that kill away. Meanwhile, Suspector is already pushed up over on the needle side and tapping buttons. He's chasing the tail of Zuzi right now, and eventually runs into his twin brother, who trades out his life. Those who are born together thrive together, as Uzi and Zuzi work on tapping buttons and ascending baseline.
They do get taken out here by Rhinoob, who's got the flag pulled once again. Taking his time, though, working with his teammate down in pit. They grab one and elect to play some defense. Perfect shots onto Little Gators. Rhinoob just melts him long haul and completely shuts down this flag run. 3 dead. Uzi also gets cleaned up. They will spawn over here towards long haul because of the flag spawns being blocked, but with rockets being up as well, I think this flag's already home.
Yeah, Super CC ascended baseline and did a great job of just trapping the remaining members of Legion Gaming in their base. There was nowhere to go, and now, as they cap a flag, they're already in the base and in the face of Legion Gaming, and Happy Buns clearly starting to feel himself. Oh, I meant Ryan, excuse me, was feeling himself, but mind you, Chris Common is here with a triple. He's going to try to play for the return, now stretching out across the map. That could have been the final flag cap. Luckily, Chris Common was there.
No, I mean, that was the last flag cap, but Chris Common said no, because it doesn't get any closer than that. Tapping Buttons had Repulsor Rockets, looking for an overkill before triple kill. Common came out and shut that one down. Nice use of Repulsor here by Rhinoob, though. Return to sender comes in. Fighting former teammate. 5.5 minutes left to play, so decent amount of time. Tapping Buttons tries to contest Sniper, does find the body shot, but can't take out the new Snipe. Rhinoob looks like he went for the push, but Little Gators wisely waits for help, and they do get one. But they just lost Sniper again, and Tony, I mean, how long have they even had Sniper? It feels like they haven't even had their own Sniper this game.
Yeah, really tough, but finally Tapping Buttons has 5 bullets in his. Super CC has 5 as well. Not able to connect onto Little Gators, who's trying to make his way over to where the long haul side. You have 2 snipers, but you got to find some value with them. And it looks like Tapping Buttons isn't able to find the kill that he was looking for. Now it's up to Super CC with his sniper to really make something happen. Common knows where he's at. Not able to stop him. Flag is pulled. That should change the attention of Legion Gaming.
Ooh, and it looks like Super CC turns over the sniper with 1 shot left in it. New overshield and rockets are getting ready to spawn here as well, and this is going to be what Legion Gaming needs to start getting back into this game here. They should clean up a couple of these kills. That's 2 down, and Zuzi stays alive. Flag's been pulled, and if they get the overshield and block these spawns here towards long haul, they may be able to start running it again. Got close for a second here, but Uzi finds that kill. That's 4 down now for AB, and the spawn long haul being blocked. Zuzi is going to apply pressure immediately to the spawners here in courtyard. Although they got to be careful, nobody gets in position to stop this flag run.
You know, kind of started off with Uzi and his movement and his just hunter mentality. Ends up with Zuzi over on the training side, keeping the players locked over on courtyard without really overextending too much. Just kind of beautifully played by the Twins and his entire Legion Gaming to really guarantee that flag cap. And they kind of turned that into more offense. Now the players are off their side of the map and right back onto ascending baselines. And I feel like if you die on the side of ascending baseline, it's not the end of the world. You kind of get to spawn up and try again on your side.
I can't even believe Ascending Baseline broke out of that setup. I think they probably could have been trapped, and we could have seen a cap if Legion had played that a little bit differently. I think Common may have missed a few shots onto a one-shot player as well. He wasn't able to clean up. That hurt them here because it might result in a counter cap in the end of this one.
Yeah, somehow Ascending Baseline were able to slay Legion Gaming off their side, and then theoretically, like I said, Legion Gaming had a chance to slay back as they spawned up, but kind of a 4 down turned into like a 7 down, and Legion Gaming really didn't have that chance to fight back. Ascending Baseline were quick, efficient, and aggressive.
Yeah, they were very clean with it and knew exactly how they wanted to get that done. They didn't waste any time on their flag pulls, and I think we saw Legion Gaming trying to take a little bit longer and have some more setup kind of flag runs, a little bit of overslaying involved at times, but every opportunity it seemed like that AB had a chance to pull that flag and run it. It went all the way, or they were immediately on top of it. I think only maybe like one got returned that game, but nonetheless, a 3-1 win and a deciding one in that. I think the opportunities were there for Legion to come out and kind of close it out, or like we said, it could have been 2-2 scenario, absolutely. But the sniper control in particular is one that sticks out to me as it was in favor of AB. Like where they had both snipes like 3-4 different times that game, and just had way more ammo to work with.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird game, to be honest with you. It feels like if you would have told me that game was tied up at 2 apiece at one point, I would have believed you, honestly. But also with the way that the tempo was, if you would have told me that was a 3-0 in favor of ascending baseline, I would have believed that as well. Like, I feel like there was times where ascending baseline really looked like they were about to run away with it, and honestly, maybe even the scoreline wasn't as close as what it felt with how ascending baseline looked on Empyrean for most of that game, at least. Now Ryan Noob and friends get to fight over to the camouflage over on Recharge, and fight is the right word, because Ryan Noob is throwing bows.
Yeah, Ryan Noob just picked up 3 kills to open this one up, but somehow it's Little Gators that gets camo and gets away essentially here, as we see B being captured. The push and pressure looks like they're going to try to go or focus towards C, as the ascending baseline has A pretty heavily locked down. Camo player goes in, gets both players no shields, but only finds the kill onto 1. I don't think that's going to be enough here to break the setup.
And that nade kind of bounced right off that Spartan's body, gets a little grenade from the grave here, a little Marty Dom style. 29-0-1 being started by ascending baseline, and you see Tapping Bun start to slowly inch his way over toward the Charlie side. Makes his presence known, but now a lot of action being forced over towards his way. His teammates trying to take advantage of that, but some way, somehow, Legion Gaming put the damage on Tapping Buns and slay his teammates that were coming from the opposite side. So very good target prioritization out of Legion Gaming.
Yeah, an early 50-point lead here for ascending baseline, but Legion Gaming looks like they're finally starting to find some control and get a couple trades here as well. Suspector seeing what he can't do to try to flip A over here, but he doesn't have a lot of reinforcements to help out. Crazy fight going on over here towards Long Haul, but it is Ryan Noob that will walk away victorious, that locks in a triple kill, or excuse me, a triple cap in the first one we've seen so far here for ascending baseline.
75 points so far for ascending baseline. We see Charlie slowly starting to convert the way of Legion Gaming. Zuzi started Charlie and then seen the teammates spawning up, so he decided to take space immediately and let his teammates finish it. And mind you, Alpha and Bravo still belong to ascending baseline, so Zuzi, you kind of got to make a play here.
Yeah, we'll see what he likes to do. I think there's a player over towards Bat Ledge as well. He's trying to help out his teammates across the map, but sure enough, with the help, one gets cleaned up, which may allow them to capture B. Another trade comes in. With Camo spawning right now, finally Legion Gaming starting to score, but a great heads-up double team from ascending baseline will clean up that kill. Uzi grabs himself 2 and lives somehow. I don't know what exactly just happened to Camo here, but they may be able to get the triple cap and lose the Camo.
106 points here for ascending baseline. They are stopping halted as the double cap now goes the way of Legion Gaming. Uzi with some damage going down over toward the tower side, but that damage coming right back at him, and Ryan who gets the kill, and now was looking to convert C as well.
Just a great job at double hitting every push by ascending baseline. You can see how many times Legion Gaming, they're just caught off guard and stuck trying to scramble or run away when they're not able to really kind of trade any good damage output, and just makes the rest of the push and the rest of the engagements for your teammates that much more difficult. They are in scoring position once again, and it looks like they're deciding to play pretty aggressive. Zuzi pushes out of A, gets back into control. I think they did spot that a player got out, but will they know he went all the way to the back C already and is behind Zuzi?
Zuzi runs into Ryan over toward the blue plat side. That original player you're talking about was Super CC, who gets himself a double kill before being taken down himself, and the 4th player will fall for Legion Gaming. Ascending baseline moving in for yet another triple cap.
Ooh, and a good shot on the frag grenades will get some players weak. There's 3 pushing into A, and with some trades and some good dancing going on the pole here, it is going to be ascending baseline to completely shut down that push from Legion Gaming, and with a triple cap in effect, this one's going to hurt. It's going to hurt bad there, Tony, for them. They are going to stop the bleeding by getting in B, new spawners into C. So they might be able to turn this one around, which is a little surprising here. It looks like they may have been able to do just enough to break free.
And mind you, Legion Gaming also have to really understand what's on the line right now. If the goal is to play 13 games at a maximum, a win here for ascending baseline would guarantee them the money. Now, they still might decide to play things out and get the practice, but ultimately, a win here for ascending baseline guarantees them the money and technically the quote-unquote win in the scrim. The best that Legion Gaming can do is lose 6-7 if ascending baseline get a win here.
Yeah, so this is going to be all the marbles here for them. They know there's a lot on the line that they need to focus on, and if they're going to get back into this, it has to start now. It might be another triple cap and camo coming in here for baseline, which is going to hurt and basically put them in a position with no room for error.
There's the back smack. There's another. Suspector with the triple kill. He's hungry, and the overkill might just be right in front of him with a beautifully placed grenade. He finds the fourth, and maybe the timing wasn't right, but let me tell you, the impact was. That will have maximum impact on the rest of this game.
Doesn't find the kill, but the kill does get cleaned up, and with that many points on the board, 4 dead for Legion once again. They got to know that this one is all but over. They're responding towards back C. They get hit by nades once again. Suspector throws on a killing frenzy right before the game finishes. The end 15-6 for the stat page. But it wasn't just him. The whole team was popping off that game. And you can see just how clean and concise they've been in their strongholds game types.
Yeah, it's just crazy good movement and decision making toward the end of that game. You saw Suspector, finagle his way into a double back smack, which turns into a triple. Like that doesn't happen. Like that doesn't happen very often, especially not at professional level gameplay. Like their awareness is so on point. So when you put that into perspective and think about the movement and decision making that led up to him even finding that angle and then turning that into the fourth kill, who was trying to convert Charlie into the spawn trap, like that killing frenzy right there is crazy. And if you think about it, like if he doesn't get that and say those 4 kills don't go his way, well, maybe there's a chance this game is still going on and Legion Gaming is scoring and bring this into a more respectable score line. But that pseudo overkill really kind of shut them down at any chance that they had of even coming back in this game.
But not only that, going back to that camo as well. I mean, I'm not the math expert, but minus a killing frenzy, he's sitting at 5 and 6 before he gets that camo and goes on that frenzy to close out that game, right? So it was, obviously a lot closer, and the game had just started, but that definitely was the nail in the coffin for both the Strongholds recharge that we just saw, and then the series in general, as we saw some of these close ones go in favor of AB and them have that early lead and be able to close it out on the strong one. Also, big shout out here to Ryan Noob, who I think this was his biggest game, and the game where he's top frag here for the squad in this late and this far into the series, coming out strong with a lot left in the tank.
Wow, beautifully played and just great games. And I will say, I know for a fact that ascending baseline they're putting in the work. The scrimming time and time again. You already see it. Same for Legion Gaming as well. And I said it before, and I'll kind of say it again and reiterate it for anybody who may be coming in. Like ascending baseline are not an online team whatsoever. Like you might see them find success online, but I definitely feel like they're a team that have already shown multiple times now, even this year with DreamHack Atlanta, even the Dallas 2v2s, you want to count that they were a team that's stepping up on LAN. So hopefully Halo Fest, whatever is going to happen there, hopefully it involves ascending baseline and many other teams. I don't know exactly how that is going to work, but I will say I want to see plenty of teams at Halo Fest and obviously the Pro League and anything else that could be coming in between.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a lot to be excited for, and definitely very interested myself to see how things start unfolding and how things are going to play out with the rest of Halo and the scheduling and the games to be played. I think a lot of the players are just waiting to put their foots on the gas once again. Once these things start coming out, and of course, we've also got a campaign to play here pretty soon, which should be pretty fun and a lot of cool things in store.
I'm actually really excited about that. Like as somebody like myself who I haven't even played much of the campaigns of Halo has like this amazing storyline to it. And I feel like I'm missing so much of it. Like I never even played a single minute of Halo 1. So this is gonna be a whole new experience for me that I get to see experience for the first time. And I'm actually really excited about that. And yeah, I'm down to jump into some campaign evolved. And I'm sure you guys will probably watch me get absolutely tossed around by like a legendary Jacko or something. Oh, it's gonna be pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, a lot of cool things in store, but big congratulations to Ascending Baseline once again, and big shout out to both teams and players for jumping on and giving us such a great, such great games of Halo, as well as the 2v2 for everyone and played in that as well. So, awesome job by everyone involved.
Absolutely. And yeah, guys, that's gonna be it from us here today. It was just straight ripping pro scrim night, an absolutely exciting one. We got to see a Sunday Baseline against Legion Gaming, who put on an absolute show, but also want to show some love to everybody involved. Obviously, everybody on the production side of things. We have Callus, Ian, Ducky, and whatnot. All of them running the production and the observing. Obviously, you guys in the chat making some noise and what, having a good time. The watch partiers, everybody that was involved with that. I'm sure you guys had a great time. And Elabite, it's always a pleasure getting to work with the freaking legend himself. So thank you so much for letting me yap while you actually provide some good information for the people at home. Do you have any final words for them?
Well, Tony, you're too harsh on yourself. You're a legend and one of my favorite casters as well. So don't stop. Obviously, keep it going. And big shout out to Callus as well, who's done some incredible observing for us. And then, like we said, grassroots or Halo Infinite launch, regardless, it's a fun game. Love being a part of it. For everyone out there still playing, big shout outs as well. Keep it going, keep it positive, have fun with it, and you never know what'll happen.
Have a good one, guys.